to the 10th episode of WrestleCap. For it being 10 episodes, we are bringing back the top 50 wrestlers. Lucky for you, we're not going to reveal all 50 of them today. Just my 50 to 26 and Christian's 50 to 26. Next week, we'll go 25 to 11. And also, we hope that Derek and Cameron will join us with their list. And they will give you they'll give you theirs 10 at a time. Probably. We'll see. But yeah, let's get into this week's wrestling. Do you think it's smarter to start with AEW or SmackDown?
I think we just go in order of when they happened.
All right. What happened first, AEW or SmackDown?
SmackDown, AEW was on Sunday.
I thought they were on Wednesdays.
It was a pay-per-view.
But we didn't talk about it last week.
We don't. We usually forget to talk about AEW.
All right, well, let's get right into SmackDown, y'all. Now, this SmackDown was held in Saudi Arabia. I believe that's the first time.
The first time it's been in Saudi Arabia?
SmackDown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, there was that. The crowd was pretty cool. You know, this is going back a little bit. I've pondered it a little bit. The French crowd was cool. The French crowd was a little bit overkill, though.
You think so?
If that was every week, it'd be very distracting and annoying. I see AJ's point now.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I don't want that every week. I do think most, like, pay-per-views should be pretty hype like that.
I think I still disagree, because I think if every pay-per-view was like that, I think it'd still be like again, that crowd was rampant the whole night. But you know, they were a little just chanting. It's like when they just whip out the beach balls and start slapping them around, you know? Like, that's fun and all, but it's a little distracting.
Yeah, that is fair.
But I'm still happy it happened, though. You know, don't get it twisted now.
I don't know. Okay, I don't think every PLE needs to be like Backlash, but I do feel like sometimes the crowds don't even make it feel like a PLE. It just feels like a normal Raw. So I feel like there needs to be like a middle ground.
I will say on the flip side, the Raw crowd this week, little dull, little boring. Kind of just chilled the whole night.
A lot of people were saying that.
But we'll get to that soon. All right, SmackDown opened up with, was it Bianca versus Nia?
Yeah,
I guess it was. I don't know why that seemed off to me. What'd you think? Any thoughts?
I thought it was the right decision. I feel like if it's like Bianca doesn't need it. I feel like Nia needed it more for sure. Bianca has other stuff going on. So.
I will say, Nia is on a tear right now, man. You think about it. Becky Lynch beat her. Liv Morgan beat her. Jade Cargill beat her. Bianca Belair beat her. She's kind of wrecking fools.
She is, yeah. I feel like
good.
I feel like her return might be one of the best like returns ever. It's I can't say it's like Cody level, but it's like pretty good like that, to where like you said, she's wrecking all these top stars. She's probably going to get a push to the title here soon. Like, I feel like she really worked her game and improved.
I will say, man, she might be the Cody Rhodes return of women. I can't think of another woman who came back like this.
I feel like the only thing different is she wasn't just like an instant superstar right away when she came back. People were all kind of like, oh man, Nia. But then after a couple months of her showing her like improvements, everyone was like, okay, I can get behind Nia now.
Well, now she just seems credible and not hurting everybody.
Yeah, that too. I feel like she worked to become safer in the ring, and that helped a lot. Even though
Okay.
That well, I don't want to spoil it yet, but a move she did at King and Queen of the Ring looked pretty gnarly.
Hey, that was cool, man.
It was, but damn, had to hurt.
But
So,
that being said, I don't know what the whole like Tiffany Stratton situation is, right? I don't think. Well, you know what? I don't even know because I think Bailey's run has been kind of lame. But what I was going to say was I could see Nia and Tiffany beating Bianca and Jade for the titles.
I could see that, but that's kind of similar to when her and Alexa were like a team.
I disagree. Alexa was the goddess. Tiffy's the Barbie.
I mean, I'm not saying it's exactly the same, but just like similar.
I don't know. I don't know if you can hear that, but
A
I've
little bit.
never I've never considered them similar characters. I think Tiffy is like a mixture of like Mandy Rose and like Gail Kim.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I
Whereas
don't
Bliss, I'll
know.
say, because that will go off again.
I mean, I could see Nia being the one to beat Bailey though.
I can now that I like said it out loud. So right now, I don't know who else would do that on
Yeah,
SmackDown. You
yeah.
know,
Besides Tiffany, but it seems like she might be taking a back seat for a sec.
well, I mean, the thing about her is she already lost. She already had a shot, kinda, and lost. You know.
Right.
But what do you give this match? I
Um,
already saw the grade, so I won't say.
I mean, from the match standpoint, probably like a C.
I say with match and storytelling and all that stuff. Like if it was the right decision and all, I think I can go flat B. But I know they gave it a B minus. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The bodysuits WWE has made for the women to wear during these Saudi shows have looked really cool for the past few years. I disagree.
Why?
To me, they just look like skin suits with like slashes on them. Not like slashes, but like paint across. You know,
Yeah.
it's not really standoutish to me. You know,
Till I get to Becky and Liv.
I actually don't remember what they were
Oh.
wearing. We'll see. All right, Valkyria was in the front row. Jax using a hair accessory as a crown to taunt Belair was kind of funny. I don't remember that.
I don't remember that either.
What she like take a hair tie and do this or something like
Maybe. I don't know.
All right, let's see if there's anything in between. We got coming out of the commercial break, we see Bianca Belair sitting on the trainer's table. Tiffany Stratton tells Bianca, better luck next time, loser.
She beat Tiffany.
That is true. That was a good match, though. That's probably been my favorite match of the Queen of the Ring tournament.
Yeah, same.
All right. All right. And then we got Candice and Indy poking fun at Bianca's injury when Jade makes the save.
That was fine, I guess. It's something to fill some time, but it's hard. They don't. I feel like Candace and Indy had some steam, and then they just like destroyed it by like not having them really on anything, or like they haven't been building towards like a title shot or anything. They're just kind of there.
Yeah, getting drafted over to SmackDown kind of restarted them. But
Yeah.
I will say, what's his name from AEW? Jesus. Will Ospreay, he was saying he feels bad for Ricochet because they're not utilizing him right. If I feel bad for anybody, it is Candice and Indy Hartwell. But more Candice.
See, I do feel like it's weird. It did seem like they were about to give Ricochet like a push, and then all of a sudden he started losing again. I was like, "What happened?" like,
I think Ricochet is in a pretty good spot right now. We'll get back to him, but we'll, we'll hold that off to Raw. But then we got the Grayson Waller effect with special guest L.A. Knight, but it was interrupted by Carmelo Hayes. But before you get into that, there was an Uncle Howdy QR code flashed on the screen. Thoughts? Thoughts?
So I watched the video. It was kind of weird. It was like, see, it seemed to like point at King and Queen of the Ring. Like there was like some numbers that were like the coordinates of where the King and Queen of the Ring was taking place. But then, spoiler alert, I guess he never showed up. So it's just kind of weird. I don't know.
I'm sure there'll be some like thing that was in the background that they'll point out to, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, you thought it was going to be at King of the Ring? Well, actually, if you look at one of the jewels on the crown, it has the it has the initials of BS as Braun Strowman or something dumb like that.
Yeah.
Um, I will say about the QR codes, like I'm glad they like brought it back because when it was happening the first time with the little white rabbit stuff, that was really cool, innovative for WWE and all that. This to go around, I think it's a little too in your face, you
Yeah,
know.
it's definitely not as hidden as it was.
Right. Like I remember I I know it was Austin Theory, but he like held up something and there was a QR code on the back or something, or he like pushed a box and the box turned and there was a QR code. That's
Yeah.
when I thought they was doing it correctly. This time it's just up flash on the screen real quick. Did you get it? Pause the screen, It's not as
Yeah.
cool to me.
Yeah. And I'm also a little worried that they're dragging it on too long and people are gonna get like disinterested. But
See, but I feel like when Bray did it, it was going for a while. It was just better hidden, so it wasn't so annoying. It was like a little cool Easter egg to find every week, where this week is
yeah.
just a screen flash,
Yeah, that's
you know.
true too. I don't know.
But that being said, what did you think of the Grayson Waller effect?
It was okay. Like, I mean, Carmelo Hayes and LA Knight would be a good match. But who do you have win that, Because they both kind of need a win to keep building up. So it's kind of tough. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would say LA Knight needs it more if he's supposed to be Logan's next opponent. But
Yeah.
what I don't know. I think all parties involved need something a little better. Like it's a little weird Carmelo Hayes with Grayson Waller and LA Knight for that because that's kind of who they were feuding with. If if you want to be technical, Austin Theory he didn't beat Carmelo Hayes, but it was like a draw, and then we didn't see Carmelo until the draft.
Yeah.
You know,
See, it's also weird because I feel like Carmelo's beefing with like four guys right now. Like, he's also like got that whatever it's going on with like Bobby and the Street Profits, and then now LA
man,
Knight. He be talking mess to Cody, talking mess to Randy.
Bobby must have gotten more hurt than they thought or something, because they kind of just dropped that cold turkey in a way.
Yeah, but they
I
brought
mean,
it up again on this SmackDown. Like him and Bobby had like a face off.
yeah, I guess if it reminds me of anything, come back in like an hour. If it reminds me of like anything, it's like when Austin Theory was feuding with the entire Raw brand. He was like feuding with Dolph, and then he was feuding with Pat McAfee, and he was feuding with some other guy. I think Seth.
Yeah,
That yeah, I thought this was just a filler moment though.
yeah, definitely was. And then the match afterwards was like another just type of filler thing, get the crowd going a bit.
Yeah. So we don't have to really talk on that long. I'm just trying to make sure there was nothing in between. Okay.
I do agree with this one thing Bleacher Report said that the new tag titles look super good, but a splash of color might help them. I'm like, yeah, like just a little blue, just a little blue. I feel like help them just a
Yeah.
bit.
So that was something I kind of said when they first announced them, but I still kind of fear that if they do put a little splash of blue on there, what is the difference between those belts and the ones Brian Kendrick and Paul London had?
That is
You
fair.
know, that's my only fear with it, but I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah.
All right. Before the match, we got a Blair Davenport promo.
I don't remember it.
I remember it, but I remember not paying any attention to it because I don't know, vignettes are kind of there.
Yeah, I mean, she was decent in NXT, but I don't know if she fits. I feel like she's gonna fall into like like where like Zoe Starks and stuff is, like just kind of just oh we need more women, so you're kind of just there for that.
Yeah. All right. Well, Bleach Report gave the match. I'm gonna just guess it C plus. That's what I would give it.
I'd say yeah, I'll go C plus too.
Wow, I gave it a B plus.
What? That's a little high.
I think so.
Like it was a
There's a
fun match, but they had no real like point. I guess I don't know.
yeah. I don't really know what advanced there, but let's see. We got after that match. Huh. Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul segment.
Was that after that?
According to this site, it was.
Hmm. 'Cause I thought it was well, yeah. Because Bleacher Report. Oh, that's weird that they did it like that. Because I feel like this was a decently big moment for their match to just gloss over it like Bleacher Report did. But
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, I mean, I thought this was cool. I thought it was a. I think that was Cody's best promo of this feud because like the one where he talked about like Jake and Mike Tyson, he kind of messed it up because he said the wrong date and stuff. But this one about how like he does respect Logan and he doesn't just consider him a YouTuber, but until he dedicates every hour to this craft, he will never be on Cody's level. I was like, that was nice.
Yeah, I thought it was a good promo.
Then the thing with the
Good.
brass knuckles, that was cool. Planted the seeds. It was pretty obvious that they were going to come into point like a different pair, but whatever.
I know. Right? It's funny. Like they couldn't even like spray paint it silver or something. It's just like the exact same pair of brass
Right.
knuckles.
It's like
But yeah,
the stupid part was that he said he was wearing Jake's pants. I'm like, why would you just be wearing your brother's pants?
I don't know. I wear like Michael's old jerseys every once in a while.
Yeah, but that's like hand me downs. It's not just like you borrowed his pants. Like, and why does he have brass knuckles in his pants?
He's a dumb heel, man. All right, it's
Yeah.
funny. All right. From there, what happened? We got. Oh, sorry, hold on. All right. After that. Oh wait, hold on. Nia Jax tells Bailey to keep the women's championship clean until SummerSlam.
I
All
mean,
right.
planting the seeds.
Kayla Braxton had a backstage interview with The Pride. The Street Profits are on cloud nine because they gave A-Town Down Under the smoke tonight. DIY joins the conversation. DIY has nothing but respect for the profits, but the agenda remains the same. DIY as your new WWE Tag Champions. Ciampa says that if they, this is too long. Even though I was on like the last slide, that I don't know why they wrote so much. But I thought that was like a good little line Ciampa had where he's like, "You guys always looking at the cup half full. I like that." And then he like dumped the cup out. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool. I feel like Ciampa's looking like ripped lately. He's
Pause.
ready for action.
Double pause. All right, but after that we got Baber or Bailey. Jeez, I'm trying to like combine names here. Bailey versus Chelsea Green.
Yeah, that match was whatever. I mean,
Yeah,
I think what happened after was probably what the only reason this match happened.
yeah. I thought Chelsea looked pretty good though in the ring,
Yeah,
but
I mean, I feel like ever since she got drafted, also she's lost a lot of steam. Because I feel like without her entrance, like Samantha, like introducing her like she did, she kind of loses some steam off of that. Then, like you said, when you get drafted, you kind of just have to restart. But I don't know. Hopefully she picks it back up. It looks like with Piper like attacking her after Bailey after. I feel like they're doing that at Clash because it's pretty close to where Piper's from.
That yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. I don't think she'll win though.
No,
But
definitely not.
yeah, it'll be a good match though. But that means I'd probably give this match like a B minus.
Yeah, I'll say C plus.
I feel like another problem. I hope they don't do this. But like without there being women's tag titles on SmackDown, it seems like, or no, I guess it's Raw. Women tag teams kind of don't make sense on the show that doesn't have it. I kind of feel like they should do what they're doing with the Speed little championship and like maybe put that on social media. Have like a
Yeah,
women's match every, let's say, month or something. Start of each month with a women's tag match or something.
right.
But we shall see. And it got a C plus. C plus. I personally thought this match was better long term wise for than that last six man match.
Yeah, I agree.
But let's move on from there. Oh, I also skipped Cody wishing Randy good luck at the King of the Ring, but that's old news now anyway. All right. AJ Styles and Nick Aldis segment. AJ just needs one more chance.
That was cool. I kind of don't like how they're making it seem like AJ's gonna be done soon, but I think he's gonna try to force a trade to Raw or something.
You know what? I'd be down for that.
Yeah, I think
But
he would get a little bit more exposure on Raw and better chance of winning a title. But then again, it's like you got Priest, Drew, Gunther. When Punk comes back, they'll all be vying for that title. So it's like, would he really get a better chance there? I don't know.
yeah, does he want to get his shoulders pinned to the mat by Logan Paul?
That is also a good point.
Yeah, I don't really know where AJ fits in right now. He gets traded to NXT.
Yeah.
All right, we got a Andrade El Idolo promo.
Yeah, I don't remember that one either.
Yeah, I don't remember that happening, but yeah, I would say he's not wasted, but man, he ain't done nothing since coming back at the Rumble.
I know. It
Not
looked
one
like they
thing.
had something for him, and then after all the draft and stuff, it was just like, nope.
Yeah, yeah. We'll give it more time, but yeah, there's nothing going on there. All right. We see Paul Heyman having a conversation with Solo Sikoa. Thoughts?
I mean, it's just more of Solo kind of lying and deceiving his way to the top of the bloodline.
I see why Tama Tonga hasn't really spoken much yet, because that
Uh,
was so awkward.
yeah, yeah, he's a bit green on the mic, at least to the American crowd right now.
Yeah. All right. But after that, we headed in to the main event, which was Randy Orton versus Tama Tonga.
Bruh, did you see that video? That dude in the crowd screaming at Tama when he was walking out, and Tama
I
Tonga
don't
was
think
like
so.
looking at him like, "What the fuck?" Like he was like, like screaming. Tama Tonga was like, "What the fuck?"
I did not see that.
Yeah, this shit was weird as hell. It's like, dude,
That's
if you're
funny.
freaking out Tama Tonga, then you're weird.
I know, right? Well, what'd you think of the match?
I thought it was pretty good. I feel like I get it because Randy's older, but I feel like he's kind of like selling injuries a little too much lately.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one because like he's like selling to a point where he looks like he can barely move.
Hmm.
But then, like every interview you hear, he says he's feeling the best he's felt since he was in his 20s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like, what's going on?
And like I don't want every match he's like can barely walk and has to dig deep or whatever. I'm like, can't just have a good match.
To be fair, he's been watching John his whole life, or in the WWE. So maybe he's just trying to be John.
Yeah, but he was always that was his thing, was always being John's opposite.
Now it's his time to pay the piper.
I don't know. I'll talk to a little bit more about Randy after King of the Ring. I do think this was the right choice winner wise, especially once Jay lost. It was like there's no reason for Tama to win, but Randy versus Gunther is like a match everybody's wanted for a long time, so I was happy with it.
Right. But that's how SmackDown closed off, I believe. Yeah, Kevin Owens ran to the ring to make the save. So I guess that's implying that's not over yet. But thoughts? Thoughts?
Yeah, it was fine.
Grade?
Someone said Kevin Owens is the best friend ever. He flew thousands of miles just to save Randy.
I mean, low key though, don't you remember all that abuse he was taking from Seth? And he was
Yeah.
gonna let Seth pin him so they could win the title.
Yeah. But I'd probably give it a solid B.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Flat B. Or I guess solid probably sounds better. That's what it got.
No, nice.
Corey Graves mocking his own promo picture for being outdated was great. Yep, don't remember that.
Yeah, me neither.
I guess we are at the crown jewel. I mean, the king and the king and queen of the ring.
Yeah, what it started with Liv and Becky.
That was the start. I,
Yeah.
I like that match. I thought it was pretty good.
I so it something did seem off. They seemed a little slow, and it was probably the jet lag or something. Probably wrestling in those suits was uncomfortable. Speaking of the suits, they like
Hey,
collaborated kind of.
you skipped the tag match, bro.
I forgot about the pre-show.
I guess finish the Becky and Liv, and then we'll get back to this.
But when I was talking about their outfits, they collabed, and Becky was like dressed as Britney Spears in a music video, and then Liv was dressed as Becky or Britney Spears in a different music video. It was like it was kind of funny. Becky's looked weird because it was like a weird tuxedo looking thing, but I feel like they could have been comfortable to wrestle with, which is probably why I think they were a little slower. But it wasn't a bad match.
I liked it. That's kind of funny. That's kind of weird. Also, like, how did that even come to mind?
Yeah, I
It's
don't
like
know.
when Bianca and Alexa Bliss recreated that scene from Scary Movie.
Yeah, just randomly. It's like what?
Yeah, for real. It's like, what made y'all think of that? But
Yeah,
that,
but
I'd give this match a B.
I'd probably give it a B too. The ending was very interesting, and it plants seeds for the next few months.
Yeah, it almost because like I never envisioned this where Dom was accidentally helping Liv.
Mm,
In my mind, he was always helping her, but it seems like they're going down that unintentional route. But we'll see. We'll see.
yeah.
Let's see. It got, I guess Damian Priest said, "What from bad to worse?" Shake my head.
Oh yeah, he tweeted that. I seen that.
Wow, they gave it an A.
I think they've been like I've noticed Bleach Report has been all about Liv. Like they've been saying she needs to win the belt for like months. So
Everybody, it seems.
yeah, that's
I'm
true.
like, and I just don't get it. Like, and don't get me wrong, I like Liv. I really like Liv. But I'm like, why is everybody up on her bandwagon now? It's like Rhea's gone. What's next? We need somebody else.
Yeah,
Like they attach themselves to the next hottest thing or
something like that.
something.
Yeah.
But let's see, top moments. That's too long. That's too long. Lynch applied the disarmor, and Morgan countered into the rings of Saturn.
That
Okay,
was pretty cool.
but going back a step, Indy, Candice, Bianca, Jade. I would say this was their best tag match as the champions.
Yeah, I definitely think they gave him the most time and they actually had some adversity to overcome. It was pretty decent.
Yeah. At least Candice and Indy kind of like gave him a challenge instead of just getting thrashed, which I was kind of scared was going to happen.
Right.
But I'd probably say C plus. All right.
I'd probably say C,
Yep.
solid C.
C plus. We got.
Oh, did it?
Yep. All right. From there we got triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship.
I
I
definitely
will
thought,
say,
huh?
I will say, this match was fine. I like where it's headed though, based on what happened on Raw. Get into that soon.
Yeah, I definitely thought this was match of the night, and that like double German for Chad. Usually, you'd think like the biggest dude, like Bronson Reed, would be the one to do it. But the fact that they
Yeah,
had Chad do it, I was like, damn, that was crazy. But I
it
definitely
almost looked like he had them both like
it,
actually up.
yeah.
you know.
I feel like the ending was a little too obvious at first because they drug it on for so long. I was like, Sammy has to be recovered by now. Like he just like was holding him there for like a couple minutes, threw him on the ground, yelled at Otis, picked him back up, and then yelled at him again.
Yeah, Chad be getting way too distracted with that. He really be just yelling at them forever. It was the same thing on Raw when he threw Maxine out and then he threw Akira out. You know.
Yeah. Do you think him and Otis feud before he wins the belt, or do you think he'll win the belt before?
See, that's a good question. I would say after he wins the belt.
Yeah, I would like that.
Because to me, it wouldn't make sense. It's either feud with Otis now, or feud with Otis now and forget about the IC title, or feud with Sammy, or get that last IC match and then feud with Otis. You know,
Yeah, definitely.
that is another thing about Raw we got to get to. But I would say this was my probably second favorite match of the night. I'll give it a B plus.
I'll say A minus.
Well, let's see. There's your German suplex right there. B plus. Let's go.
Nice. Fair.
You suck. Oh yeah, Chad is starting to get some "you suck" chants. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
They need to give him a better song for it though.
You know what? On Raw, I thought they were doing it pretty with a good beat to his song.
Yeah. Yeah. They're working it out.
Let's see. Yeah, it was a good match. But then we got Queen of the Ring. We got Lyra Valkyria versus Nia Jax. I ain't gonna lie, didn't pay that close attention to the match, but I was watching while I
Yeah.
was
I
on
thought
my
it
way
was
home.
it was a good match. Lyra looked good. They let her show off some of her moves. She had a good run at it, but I feel like this has been Nia's to win for a couple weeks now. And that freaking like reversal into what is her move called? The
I just call it the
Devastator.
Yoko drop.
I think they call it like the Devastator or something, but that like reversal from the sunset flip into that, it looked like she landed straight on Lyra's hips. I was like, that had to hurt like shit. But it
Yeah,
was
but it
cool.
made it look devastating.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a good ending. I just don't know what Lyra's ceiling is because she's just, I don't know. When you're just like, oh, I try hard and I'm gonna go for it, that never works.
Yeah, right now to me she's too baby,
Yeah.
and I just I can't stand that like breed of characters. But I will say Daniel Bryan, kicked out of that, and Sami Zayn kicked out of that. So I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
there's
sell on her yet, but this iteration of her, I ain't liking it.
yeah, same.
I was thinking maybe she would start teaming with Becky or something, but surprise, surprise, I think Becky's taking a few months off.
Yeah.
I think she was supposed to take a few months off, honestly, before Rhea got hurt, but
Yeah.
we'll see. That being said, B, flat B.
I'd say with the decision being the right call, B plus.
Dude, I did I write this?
Yeah.
Let's see. Maybe they'll say what the move is called here. Nah. All right. King of the Ring, Randy Orton versus Gunther. I don't know if it was a botch, but bro, Randy's shoulder could not have been any further off the canvas.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a botch or if it was planned like that. The fact that Triple H acknowledged it afterwards makes me think it was planned. But bro,
Hold on,
longest.
wait. If he didn't acknowledge that though, like it was so far off the mat, dude. There was
Yeah,
no hiding that.
I mean, if it was an accident, I feel like they fell into something great because they can go off of that and like. I think we're gonna get heel Randy back here soon because I think he's
Yeah.
gonna be like enraged about it and he's gonna like do anything he can to get a title shot with Cody at SummerSlam. But that that entrance, bro, that was Undertaker esque. Like that was the longest entrance ever. I was like, dang, what are they doing? I did. I feel like a lot of people hate slow matches, which I do for the most part too. But with this one, I feel like it worked. Those two guys knew how to make it work because it was like a very slow, methodical match, but I feel like it was still very entertaining.
I think it worked because it was these two. Like you kind of had that expectation already that it was going to be a chess match. Whereas like when it was AJ and Shinsuke, I don't think anyone was expecting that. So when we got the slow, because if you watch that match back, it's not terrible, knowing that it's going to be a slow match. But when
Yeah,
the expectation was we are going to get fireworks,
yeah. It's like I wonder if Randy told him to just like go as hard as he could because dude, those chops, he hit him with two, and his chest looked like it was like got hit with a hammer, dude. I was like, what the hell?
This is how I envisioned it. Randy said you only get two, so you better make them count.
Yeah,
But
that's
Thunder made
that's
him count.
probably a better thing. That I feel like you could tell in Randy's face, he was like, "Oh, all right, man, you fucking got me. Let's go." Like,
And
but
Randy brings the punt kick
yeah,
back.
yeah, I kind of thought Randy was gonna win because I thought they were gonna do Cody at SummerSlam, but and then also I don't know where Gunther fits in with where the world title is right now, but it was still, yeah, I feel like either way it wasn't a bad choice. So it was just a good, fun match, and now we might have two possible storylines to go.
The only thing that was like holding me back from thinking Randy was going to win was just King Randy Orton did not sound right at all. Like I know like King Stone Cold isn't either, but I guess it was Steve Austin, or was he Stone Cold at that point?
He was
I
stone
don't know,
cold at that point, but
but like it just he was young then. Randy's like 40 something. So like I just didn't see that.
yeah, that's fair.
I will say I like that Gunther has not put the crown on his head so far.
Yeah, it's just carrying it around. I also feel like
Yeah.
it's too big. Like I feel like the only reason Naya's fit was because her hair.
Yeah. It's like a trophy really, and it kind of should be seen that way in a way. But oh shoot, what was I finna say? I'd say this was like a B plus. I feel like Bleach Report gave it an A minus though.
um, I'll say A minus because the ending was a little confusing, but it was a good
He got robbed.
match.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. This is like my favorite king and queen of the ring, like crowns,
Yeah,
probably ever.
yeah,
Probably
they
ever.
are cool.
All right, let's see. Let's see. Flat A,
Hmm. Yeah, I
I
feel
will
like
say.
sometimes Bleacher Report does be hyping stuff.
All right, now that we're through that, I know there's another match. Are Xavier Woods and Zelina Vega the worst queen and king of the ring ever?
I don't know who was before them.
Was it Wade?
I don't think it was that long, was it? Because I thought there was one the year before Xavier won it.
I I thought that's when they brought it back because it was like a big deal.
Let's see.
Well, I feel like Zelina technically is the greatest king of the queen of the ring at the moment, just because Nia just won it. Hey, you hear me?
Yeah. I
It was Baron Corbin, and then
yeah, okay.
technically Shinsuke.
Oh yeah. They're up there, I guess, because they didn't really do anything with it. And Xavier got wrecked and then got his crown like destroyed. So it's like they probably are the worst. Like you said, I feel like Selena's the worst and the best right now because there's only one to go off of. But
It's kind of crazy that both last year's or both former king and queen of the ring winner was not even in the tournament. And I
yeah,
know it's because of injuries, but what are the odds?
yeah,
Both.
that's crazy.
All right. Then we got my favorite match of the night: Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul.
Yeah, it was a really good match. Like I said, the brass knuckle thing was a little predictable. I did like how Michael Cole was like yelling at him. That was funny. Called him a loser. He's like, "You're a loser."
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Why does Michael Cole want the smoke so bad?
Right. And then that frog splash was nice with that drone camera. And then
Yeah.
the only thing I didn't like was Cody hitting the triple crossroads. I'm like, that kind of makes it not as like I feel like that was needed to beat Roman. You shouldn't need that to beat Logan Paul. But
I
I'm
mean,
just picking at hairs here, I guess.
if we're being fair, he didn't hit Roman with triple crossroads. He hit Roman with like a 9-time
All
crossroads.
right, but the ending of the match was a triple crossroads. I, I was like thinking to myself after though, trying to think about it, is like he needed to hit Roman with that to pin him, like he wanted to hit Logan with that just because he was pissed at him.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, you just sold me on it.
Yeah, that's what I was like trying to convince myself after.
I thought this was a solid A.
Yeah,
I'm curious what Meltzer would have gave this. But man, God, in a way, I hate how good this dude is, man. He's
I
like,
know. I was saying that during it. I was like, when he was like uh, yelling at Michael Cole, I was like, man, how did he get so good at this so quick? Like, he's not just good in the ring; he's pretty good with the charisma. He's getting way better on the mic. It's like,
like
the,
if I'm being honest with you, he's probably like a top 5 favorite wrestler of mine in the WWE currently.
he's
Like
making
based
the
on the
case.
character.
Yeah, he's making
Eh,
the case for it, and it's like, it sucks because I was like telling Brie, I was like, this is like that thing where it's like the worst person you know is actually really good at something. It's like,
you can't even hate on him. Like it's
yeah, it's
crazy.
like damn. And the fact I know Hangman Adam Page has to be pissed that Logan just hits that shit so clean every time.
I know, right? And he like doesn't ever botch. Like I don't know if that thing in the Money in the Bank with him and Ricochet, I don't know if that was on him or if that was on Ricochet or if it was just a missed timing. But like I don't even apply that botch to him.
Yeah, I feel like that's just something that like there's like a very slim success rate on that move in general because so many things have to go right. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's him saving Ray from like breaking his neck. It's like yeah, he's just he's got the instincts for it, I guess.
But what did you give it? I think I said solid A.
Yeah, I said A too.
It got a solid A. Dude, I got every match on this card except for one, and it was by a half a grade.
Yeah.
That is insane.
All right. Uh, I'll just run through the notable parts of this AEW pay per view real quick. Uh,
Okay.
it was really weird. Well, Will Ospreay, of course, won his first title, which everybody kind of knew he was going to win. And then Adam Cole came out, cut a promo. and then MJF returned, buried Adam Cole. Like literally, he just came out there, kicked Adam Cole in the nuts, hit him with a fucking muscle buster, and then just threw him out of the ring, and then just cut a promo not even about Adam Cole. I was like, way to just throw him under the bus. Like, damn.
Wait,
And
wait. Before you go on, I swear to you, that's been Adam Cole's whole run in AEW.
yeah, it's awful. Like I low key feel bad for him, but also MJF came back looking weird. Like of course, most people after their comeback from injury they're like shredded. He has like a really bad fake tan, and he
Yeah,
was dressed like Triple H. I was like, I get the like sentiment, like he's like throwing back to when Triple H returned, but it doesn't fit him like it does Triple H.
it doesn't at all. But
And
in
then
a way, it kind of works for that audience though, because they're like, I don't want to say they're like trolls, but they're kind of like trolls. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah, it's just like you're probably AEW's biggest star. They needed you back super bad. You finally return and you make it about WWE twice because he dressed like Triple H and then he brought up Vince McMahon. And I'm like, why not just that's the biggest problem with AEW is they're being so anti WWE rather than just being themselves. And it's like very cringy, but then that
what do you say
freaking
about Vince?
he said, I don't need New Japan and I don't need Vince McMahon to make me who I am. MJF made MJF.
You don't think that was a shot at the WWE guys in AEW?
I mean, it probably was, but it's just like he's also saying he's pretty much saying like Vince McMahon made everybody to what they were in the WWE or whatever. But
I
just why
mean,
bring it up at all?
if we being honest though, he ain't wrong. You were either made in New Japan or made by Vince in AEW.
I I
Who's their
failed to
homegrown
like think
talent?
I fail to think that Vince gets needs it. I don't think he deserves as much credit for making people as he tries to lead.
I think he deserves like 40%. Because like if you look at the dudes there who were in WWE, like a Edge or Chris Jericho, you know, it's not the same.
What do you mean?
I like Edge, right? Was seen as like a big generational talent, you know. In AEW, he's a talent, but like, he's not. I don't think their sales are doing any better with Edge there than before he was there.
Well, see, but that's more of the fact if it's just cliche old WWE guy. I'm talking about like I feel like the superstars themselves have more credit in making them like their characters who they were more than Vince does.
I think it's a team effort because when they aren't there, you have like Jeff Hardy pretending to be the Antichrist, you know.
I guess, but it's like you don't hear that many stories of like, oh, Vince came to me with this idea to do this, and it's always like a different writer or a different superstar or themselves. Vince is
From
kind
what,
of just there to approve it or not.
but I think that's big though, because like Edge getting hurt, I don't think that would have got approved. You know, I'm not saying Vince deserves all the credit, but I think he deserves credit for like directing is a talent as well. You
Okay, but what's the difference in AEW approving him
know,
jumping off the cage at that age than WWE approving RVD jumping off the ladder at that age?
when was RVD like 50 jumping off the ladder in WWE?
Money in the Bank.
When was that?
I mean, he wasn't 50 maybe, but he was late
Oh,
40s. And he remember
when
how he like barely flailed off of it.
Oh, I mean, I don't think that was the same. That was more like a fall, and then like more
Well, but
controlled
that's the thing
fail.
is like Edge could have done that. He just messed it up.
I don't even think RVD was like in his 40s.
No way.
He might have been like 40.
He had to have been like
How
45.
how old is he right now? RVD is 53. That was probably like 10 years ago, so like 43.
Okay.
Eh.
Like I said, like I feel like if Edge would have just fell, it would have been fine. But he like got scared and like tried to land on his feet for some stupid reason.
Like WWE makes bad decisions. I'm just saying, like I think because like what Chris Jericho always says, he's like Vince doesn't he doesn't like write out a whole program by himself, but what he does is like he'll take like an idea that was made and then just like tweak it and then it makes it better. Most of the time, not always.
I guess I don't know. I just feel like himself he tries to take credit for making everybody when it's I feel like you said it's either a group effort or like the superstar made themselves by being that good at it rather than like he made them.
I would say like a handful of dudes came in with like good notoriety already, but like we're talking like 5% of people, like maybe even less than that. Like I would say Goldberg had a name and like AJ Styles had a name with Vince nowhere near them. Samoa Joe, but like most of the time he'll make you bigger for sure than you were. Like
I
I
don't
know
know.
they say Daniel Bryan was big, but I didn't know anybody who knew who Daniel Bryan was before he was in NXT.
Yeah, but that's also just the platform of WWE in general.
But it's his platform that he gets credit for that.
I guess, but I don't really like I said, I don't think that means he made them.
I think it does because like Daniel Bryan, right? If he never went to WWE, does he have that contract in AEW? Like the
I mean,
exact same big dollar contract? I don't think so.
no, but also Vince tried to make him not be big.
He still got him to that point.
Yeah, but that's because
He was
he
a
was kind of.
former world champion at that point.
I get that, but he was not what he was at WrestleMania 30 until they were kind of forced their hand to switch plans.
But if Vince had just given him that, right, like everyone wanted, it wouldn't have been as big because they gave you the struggle and thinking we're not going to get it, and then you demand it, and then you get it. It's bigger than
Yeah,
if
but
he had
like,
just given
I
it
don't
to you.
think he planned that from the get go.
I mean, he might not have, but it's still like if CM Punk doesn't leave, does that even happen? There's a lot of ifs or what ifs. I'm
Yeah,
not going to take credit away because it wasn't the original plan.
fair. I don't know. I just feel like he did have a hand in making a lot of guys, but like I feel like him saying basically these guys would be I don't know, like Stone Cold is like a creation of him. I feel like I don't know. I feel like Stone Cold kind of made because he was cutting promos the same way in ECW, and Vince kind of just took that and was like, "Hey, do that over here."
I disagree with that statement because in ECW, all he was doing was taking shots at bigger names than him,
No, but it
and
was
it
just
has
like the
like this cult following underneath it.
that's the thing. Like he was cutting those like kind of culty
But every indie guy does that. You can like find videos of like Kevin Owens doing that.
I guess, but that's like that was way before these indie guys were really a thing.
What do you mean?
Like in the '90s, like that.
I I still don't get what you mean.
Like Stone Cold was doing that before anybody else, and Vince like took that and used it for himself.
See, I don't know, man.
Like I feel like a
That
lot of what Paul Heyman says is kind of true, and Paul Heyman learned to respect Vince after, but he wasn't lying when he said you took most of my ideas and made it your own and took my success from me.
I don't know. Vince don't speak, so I don't know his like thoughts. These other guys speak all the time, so they're like, I don't know. Paul Heyman gives Vince a lot of credit. A lot of like everybody gives Vince a lot of credit, so I'm not gonna just say he doesn't do anything.
I'm not saying he doesn't do anything either, but there's also a lot of people that say that he stole a lot from a lot of people too.
See, I don't want to go on about this long because we still have to do the list, but I feel like most of the people you hear just like trashing the man or like trashing WWE and how they do it, right? A lot of times are guys who don't go on to do much after that also. Like for instance, right? Sting, who wasn't in WWE, he wasn't just he never just trashed WWE. He was just scared how they would use him, is what he always says, right? And then he spent his time there and was like, "Yeah, I could have been used better." Whereas a guy like Ryback just trashes the place and goes on to do nothing, or like Rene Dupree trashes the place, goes on to do nothing.
All
That's how
right,
I feel about it.
but CM Punk trashed the place and went on to do a lot.
Did he?
I mean, he was in the UFC. He was in AEW. He was writing Thor comic books. He was a
Right, but like
commentator for cage fighting.
there was like a good 7 year, like 5 year period where between UFC and AEW where he wasn't doing nothing.
I mean, nothing in the public eye, but he was, like I said, he was like writing for comic books and stuff, and he was always doing the Cage Fury commentating.
Really, even he like takes back a lot of the stuff he said though.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things are just said out of anger, but I mean, I feel like even Vince has admitted that he's done things as like a I'm taking it because I can type attitude.
I agree, but that's why I'm giving him like 40%, not 80.
Yeah, fair.
Like I think it's the talent deserves more credit, but I think Vince deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah, fair. Oh, hey, breaking news live on the show. Sexy Red came out. You know who that is? She's a rapper.
All right.
She came out on NXT and unveiled the Women's North American Championship.
Hmm.
It's looks the same silhouette as the men's, but the strap is white and the world in the middle is red.
The description sounds cool. Can you like hold it up to the camera?
Let's see. You kind of see it.
Oh,
It's a little
yeah.
blurry, but
Uh, it's
oh, there
it's
we
all
go.
right. Yeah, I see. It's
Yeah.
all, I like the men's better. I like the red strap better.
Yeah, the red with the gold is better, I think. But it's cool that the women are finally getting a secondary belt in NXT.
That so how many women are in NXT? Because like,
There's a lot.
truthfully, is there?
Yeah, I think there might be more than like either Raw or SmackDown.
Okay, maybe they do deserve it most then, because the main roster could use like a secondary belt, sort of. But
Yeah.
all right, is that all on AEW or was there more? I don't even remember
I
we
feel like
really
we never
talked
really
about
talked about it. But so MJF, he said, but there's been a lot of talk about where I'm gonna go. Maybe this will show you. He got a terrible AEW tattoo on his leg.
You
It
don't like
says,
it?
"I hate it," and it's like I get what you're doing, but like you're telling me you're never gonna reconsider going to WWE. I
I don't
just,
know.
I think,
Sorry, go ahead.
I think they backed up the bank truck to his house. To be honest, like I think he might be one of the highest paid wrestlers in the world probably now. Because supposedly, also, it's always just rumors and speculation, but supposedly he wanted to be paid in WWE what like Cody and stuff is making, and they kind of like were like, nah, bro, like you ain't getting that type of money yet. So that's like what ultimately made him just re-sign with AEW, which I don't think was a bad decision because I don't know where he'd fit in WWE right now.
Yeah.
So I feel like this was for his star power and stuff. This is definitely probably where he wants to be for right now. But in like a couple years, who knows? Like you don't know.
What? Why does this tattoo to you say that he can't ever go to WWE?
It literally has the AEW logo in the middle of it.
It just says "bet on yourself" with the AEW chip,
Exactly. And he
and
said, and he when he unveiled it, he said, "I'm not going fucking anywhere."
for now.
I guess.
It's like near his ankle. This will never be seen because he doesn't he wear boots.
Yeah, that's true. I guess, but it's just weird. And
I
that's
think
like
it's a cool little memento too, where he got his name.
yeah, I guess. I don't know. It was just it's cool to see him back, and he definitely makes AEW a little more worth watching, but I don't know if they're just gonna throw him right back in the title scene. I don't know. Because technically his beef should also be with Samoa Joe, but he said nothing about Samoa Joe.
He hit a muscle buster, you said.
Well, it was like a modified jackhammer into like a muscle buster. It was weird. I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, so there's that, and then Sasha Banks won her first title, which in her very first match there, which everybody kind of seen coming. Also, it's just kind of eh. And then they had the Edge and the Malachi match, which people were pissed about because since Edge just came back, he's only lost one feud, and it was to Roman. Just like Malachi
Hmm.
Black should definitely be pushed. And like Finn, he shouldn't have beat Finn. It's kind of messed up. He beat Sheamus on his way out, but I don't know. And like we were talking about earlier, he botched the table spot, broke his leg. Who knows how long he's gonna be out because he's pretty old.
He did beat AJ also too. Sorry, I
Yeah,
was thinking about it the more
right.
you go.
It's kind of like don't get me wrong. Like I'm not saying he should have lost all of them, but like he couldn't give someone one.
I know,
Like,
right? Even the Judgment Day didn't like really get their victory over him because that's when Dom turned. It's like,
and then he goes there when Christian's like made a big name for himself and beats Christian in the feud. I'm like,
man, that's crazy. Why
yeah.
doesn't he get the Edge Hogan treatment like they were trying to give to Becky for a while?
But then everyone is also pissed because like the House of Black was supposed to be like a badass group of dudes who could like take anybody, and they got beat up by Gangrel.
I
So
think they should be called House of Black to WWE.
I was
That
gonna
would be
say I feel like this
cool.
kind of just solidified that at least I don't know how long Buddy's contract is, but I know Malachi's ends soon, so I think he's probably coming back.
It ends soon in theory. I think they can extend it because of his injuries.
Oh
I seen a
yeah,
report about that.
that's true. But yeah, so there's that, and then also Jericho beat Tanasha and Hook in a triple threat again. People were pissed about that. I don't like this new learning tree gimmick he's got. Like, I don't know. It's just, it seems like every new gimmick he comes up with now is like worse than the last one.
And also, like, I'm not really watching, but from what I'm hearing, he is having a lot of, like you said, different gimmicks. And how are you supposed to build a good gimmick when you're changing it up every like few months?
Yeah, literally in the last year, he's been like four different versions of himself, and I'm like, and he's beating all these young guys, and like all these guys they're signing from New Japan. He's just beating them. It's like it's kind of weird, but
He reeks of the insecurity a little bit.
yeah.
All right, finish AEW real quick. I'm getting a phone call.
Okay. Well, and then it was the Anarchy in the Arena match. It was the Elite versus uh Dash and Dawson, Darby Allen, and who was the last guy? Oh, Daniel Bryan. And literally, you want to talk about AEW being dangerous? They literally set Jungle Boy on fire. They set him ablaze. It looked he was like on fire for a while. I get he was like drenched in water, and then the Bucks like put him out with the fire extinguisher pretty quick. But to literally set someone on fire, that was insane. He had no shirt on either. Dangerous, dangerous stuff there. But the Elite end up winning.
Was that how you're ending it?
So the Elite won that one, and then the main event was Swerve versus Christian. That was a pretty decent match. Swerve's probably gonna hold the belt for a while, at least until MJF wants it back, probably. But uh, then he went and celebrated in the crowd with Floyd Mayweather, which was pretty weird. And
Floyd was there.
yeah, Floyd Mayweather standing next to Q from Impractical Jokers. It's a very weird picture of those three together. But yeah,
Was it?
that's pretty much how it ended. It was just a very I didn't think MJF was going to come back that soon, so that shocked me. The Edge thing was crazy. setting a dude on fire was crazy. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the stuff CM Punk be saying about them being dangerous and like unprofessional, I feel like it just keeps proving more true.
All right. Is that all on AEW?
Yep. Oh,
All right.
one more thing on AEW, we get Fight Forever for free next month on PlayStation.
Really?
Yeah.
That is interesting. It's like every time they make something, they're just in a lose-lose situation with that game.
Yeah, pretty much. Right.
Because like, if I just bought that $100 season pass thing that they just released, that was like everything, I'd be
Mhm.
pissed.
Yeah.
You know?
All right.
All right.
On to Raw.
L- yeah, let's speed through Raw.
Yeah, man, we've already been at it almost an hour.
Right. Right. Let's see. Let's see. Raw. It was announced before the show that we were getting a steel cage match between Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch.
Yeah, that was cool. Nice. I like when Raw has some one a title match and two a stipulation match. It's always nice to see on a Raw.
It's always a steel cage match, though.
Yeah, I wonder why. I guess just easiest way to get the crowd going without like doing too much. But I don't know.
The last time I can remember there being like a stipulation match on like a Raw or SmackDown was when they randomly had a Hell in a Cell match between Roman and Xavier Woods. And before that, it was like a that wasn't a steel cage. I don't remember if I said that. And the one before that, they had a TLC match on Raw with CM Punk and Ryback once.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, but let's see. We started with like the weirdest opener to a Raw I can remember in a minute because it started with Gunther talking about I'm the new King of the Ring, and then Damian Priest saying, "Oh, it looks like it's us now," and then Drew was like, "Wait, before it's us now, it's me and you, Damian," and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden Braun comes out.
Yeah.
Like, it was the weirdest opening to a show that I can remember.
Yeah, it was like I feel like it just further clutters that title scene. It's like I don't think Braun's gonna be near it for a while at least, but it was just like, what are you insinuating right now?
Yeah, I don't think anybody came out of that promo looking any better, including Gunther.
I do think the Priest and Drew promo was interesting. Uh, Drew, of course, starting it off, insulting Punk one more time, and then like trying. It did. Damien had a good point. Like he was like, "You're trying to get under my skin by saying the crowd's gonna boo me. Like, how would that affect me? I've been booed my whole life, basically." And he's like, "But let me ask you a question: Is your wife going to be there?" And Drew was like instantly triggered. He was like, "Oh, see, it was that easy for me to get under your skin." Like Drew came or Priest came out winning that, I think.
Yeah, I guess if anybody won that, it was Priest because he kind of went to war with everybody on the mic, but
Yeah,
still,
but
it was kind of
it was
weird.
kind of a cluttered mess.
But it led us to our first match of Braun Strowman versus JD McDonough.
Yeah,
I
that
don't know
was.
what this is.
Yeah, like why is he just like feuding with the lesser people in the Judgment Day? Basically, I guess like it's like I'm feuding
And
with
my,
everyone in the Judgment Day but Damian Priest and Dom.
and my thing is, why are they like legit upset with JD for not being able to beat Braun Strowman? It's like, have any of you ever beat Braun Strowman? Why y'all keep like trashing him?
Right.
Yeah, but I'd probably give that like a C minus, maybe a solid C.
Yeah, the whole segment I'd probably give it. I'll say C plus because I did enjoy their promos a little bit, even though they were a little
Yeah.
clustered.
Bleacher Report gave the segment an A.
Damn.
I was talking about. I would probably give the segment like a B minus because I probably will remember this weird opening. But I was talking about the match. I'm giving the match like a C minus.
Right.
But JD can sell. You know what? I'm upgrading to a C.
Okay. The match, yeah, I'll probably give the match a C.
The match, Gaunt, a C plus. C plus.
Fair.
See, was there anything in between? We got a Kathy Kelly backstage interview with Liv Morgan. Any remorse? I do like that Liv like acknowledged that she didn't just beat Becky 1-on-1.
Yeah, she's I, I'm like wondering if it's gonna like come out that Dom has been helping her the whole time, or is she just gonna keep coercing Dom more and more until he like just submits.
Like submits.
Kind of what Rhea did to him. He's just easily
Yeah,
manipulated, I guess.
that is true. You just gotta beat Dom's ass every week, and then
Yeah.
he'll join you. Let's see, we got Damian Priest wants Finn Balor to find JD and bring him back to the clubhouse with Carlito there. I don't know why they excluded Carlito. Then we got Ricochet is medically cleared, and he has a match with Ilya Dragunov. And then it led right into that match. Now, this has been my favorite match. What? Oh, spoilers, fucking freaking Bleacher Report. But I would say this has been my favorite Ilya match on Raw so far.
You think this was better than their first one?
Yes, just because I didn't know who was going to win this time. Where the first time I knew for sure he was going to beat Ricochet.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because, like, even though I thought he was going to beat Ricochet this time, the way the match was going seemed like Ricochet was finna get the win. And I was like, well, Ricochet has the built in excuse that his ribs are messed up. But no, I thought this was a really good match. And then Braun coming out at the end was like perfect. Because even I was like, oh, you bastard. you know?
Yeah. It's like I was mad, but also not, because I feel like they made Braun look really good. And like, I like how he's kind of just being super destructive. It's kind of like the exact right way to build him. That spear he hit on Ricochet was nice. And I like how Adam Pearce is just like super pissed and Braun's just like celebrating like he's not even there.
I know, right?
Yeah.
What is with WWE and Bronze where they just have to wreck shop when they make their debuts?
Guess it's just Braun just means you're a powerful dude who wrecks everybody. I don't know.
I guess. Did you have more on this?
No, I would probably give this segment a B solid. No, B plus. I'll go B plus.
I will co-sign that B plus with you. Let's see. It got an A, and I ain't
Wow.
mad. I
Yeah,
ain't mad.
it was a good segment. I feel like even though it ended in no contest, I feel like that's three good stars that have potential going forward.
True. Maybe those all three of those guys I could see holding the Intercontinental title by Mania.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Definitely a multi-man match with those guys in it would be sick.
Maybe that's the SummerSlam match right there, triple threat.
Right.
All right, we got another Uncle Howdy QR code during Ilya's entrance. I did not mean to read that. All right, now let's talk about this for a second. The New Day. Well, it started off with the Miz and R Truth talking about flavors of ice cream. I thought that was kind of funny, where
Right.
Miz was like, "I'm vanilla and you're
Strawberry.
strawberry."
And the New Day was like, what were you gonna say he was? A strawberry, of course. What else would I?
I thought that was pretty funny. But AOP, for the first time in his career, I mean, not AOP, Karrion Cross, for the first time in his career, said something interesting to me. Where he
Yeah.
was saying, "You guys have run your course. When are you going to let the new guys shine?" You know what I'm saying? Wasn't bad. Was
Right.
not bad.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on it?
I mean, I don't understand why he would recruit Xavier to the what are they called? The fucking
Final Testament.
yeah. Like how does he fit with them at all? But
I don't think he was recruiting them. I think he's just trying to break the New Day up.
yeah, I guess that's a better way to look at it. Utilize his full potential and leave Kofi. I
Because
wonder if they
Xavier
are ever
definitely.
gonna finally do that, or if they're just gonna be the New Day forever.
I, I honestly think they need to just
Do
do some
something.
single stuff for a while.
Yeah.
Make us miss New Day. You know what I mean? Because right now, I don't think anybody. I'm not going to say New Day has like go away heat, but they have like. All right. It's like when Mark Henry was like sticking around for a long time, not doing anything.
Yeah. Like it's
Because I
just like
still remember. Hmm?
you just like they've just like kind of earned like the right to just like coast, but like they keep trying to put him into things, and it's like, all right, like
Yeah,
they don't really
we
have
ain't
any
gonna
reason
go
to be
anywhere.
here.
Yeah. It's like when Mark Henry. I'll never forget Mark Henry teamed with like the primetime players one week at a Raw I went to, and they were just facing some team, and I was like, "What is Mark Henry doing here? Like, why is
Yeah,
he?"
literally.
It's like when him and Big Show were just there every week. It's like, what are you guys doing? But now this is what I was a little surprised about: the Creed brothers versus the Authors of Pain, and the Authors of Pain kind of just squashed them.
Yeah.
What
I
were your thoughts?
feel like it's got to be so then they're like they need Chad Gable to like direct them in the right direction. I'm guessing is where they're going with that.
I agree that they are kind of pushing them. I think it makes sense. I see the grade as a C plus, which is probably around the spot I probably would have gave it a D, honestly. But
Yeah.
like the fact they just got squashed though is what is a little weird to me, because they just took the Judgment Day to their limit, and they almost won that battle royal. I mean that 4-man match also.
Yeah. Uh, I agree, but I guess it's like they're doing a very slow bit. If that is the direction they're going, they're doing it very slowly, which is good, I guess. But I feel like I thought they were gonna fast track Gable and the Creed brothers together like pretty quick, but I like a slow build.
Yeah, I don't mind it because I'm still interested in what's going on with the Alpha Academy.
Right.
And if they were in there, that might have been a little too much all at once. But let's see. We got Sheamus making his return, cutting a little entrance. We see Liv having a discussion with JD in the background. And we see Becky Lynch give Lyra Valkyria a little pep talk.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess there was a lot of stuff before Sheamus cut his promo.
Right.
Carlito, Rey Mysterio cut a long promo on Carlito.
I feel
Thoughts
like
on all of that?
so the now I'm like, what'd you say first?
I said Sheamus got to the arena and we saw Liv and JD
Yeah,
talking in
okay.
the background.
So the Liv and JD thing, I don't understand. Because like, what is she in coots with the whole Judgment Day?
I didn't get it either because later on in the show, Damien's like, "Yeah, Ed, we're talking to Liv Morgan apparently," and he like looks at Finn, and I'm like, "It
Yeah.
wasn't Finn talking to her, was it? Like, what are we doing?"
Well, then JD was like, I was just telling her, don't expect to be champ long or something like that. But
Right.
it's like, if all this ends up that like Liv and JD are together, I'm like, that was lame.
Well, you saw what happened. Raw went off, right?
Yeah, I did, but it's just weird what that was. Or like JD and Dom like conspiring against Judgment Day. I don't know. Guess we'll have to see. But and then the
What?
Becky thing was kind of sad because, like you said, it does seem like hopefully not full retirement, but it does seem like she's leaving for a bit.
Yeah.
She said that thing about like, you just keep climbing all the mountains and reaching the pinnacle and just doing the best you can until one day it stops. I'm like, damn, getting real.
Yeah. I liked it though.
Yeah, it definitely added some like drama to both of their situations.
All right, Ray promo.
Yeah, it was whatever. Carlito needs his mustache back though.
I know, right?
I was like,
Either like
why did you
clean
do that?
shave or something, man.
Yeah,
He looks so weird.
yeah. And usually
All
when
right.
you like shave your facial hair, you look younger. But I feel like he looks older. I was like, what the
Yeah, it was weird, man. All right, and then Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser segment. I thought it was fine. Nice little brawl. Glad it didn't go too long. Nice camera movement again.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Definitely. It's like weird though that he's feuding with Ludwig, but doesn't want to face Gunther again. I'm like, so then what's the ultimate goal here?
Just to shut up the young pups.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
He already knows he can't shut Gunther up.
Yeah,
That
that's
man
fair.
tapped you out in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, that's
All right.
fair.
I guess Bleach Report gave this a grade. I would say it's just a B. Just a B.
Like everything or just that?
Just Sheamus and Ludwig.
Yeah, I'd probably say a B.
It got a B. Nice. And then there's that promo you was talking about. And then we head into Ludwig. I mean, yeah, Ludwig Kaiser versus Kairi Sane. Lyra Valkyra versus Kairi Sane.
Yeah. Um,
I need more time though. Thank you.
they're definitely pushing
Maybe a
Lyra.
little bit.
They're definitely pushing Lyra pretty hard, which is cool because we need
Flower.
some fresh blood in like the division.
Yeah.
But I feel like Kairi Sane deserves a little bit more than that. Especially
Yeah.
they give her a new entrance and everything, and then she just loses. I was like, wow.
Yeah, she's kind of beaten the entire damage control, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I didn't really like it either. But
Yeah,
it
like
was a
it,
good match.
I feel like it's
I,
like, doesn't make a lot of sense because like I feel like Kairi Sane can use a build and so can Lyra, so having them face each other kind of just like one of them has to get buried, kind of.
I was surprised. I thought Kairi Sane got hurt at the end because the way she screamed was like very loud and noticeable, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I guess
But
it made a little bit more sense with Kyrie losing with what happens like later with Io.
yeah.
But yeah.
Uh, Let us move on to. Wait. Yeah, okay. I'd say the match was probably a B minus.
Yeah.
I'll give it a B. I thought the match was good. I just, a little tired of her.
Yeah.
It got a B minus. Should have stuck with my B. Dang it. Yeah. And then they talked about EO thrash in that room. I thought it's funny when she threw that table at the end. She for sure almost hit Kyrie with the
Yeah.
table.
It's like right at her leg. Like Kyrie Sane barely got out of the way.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Oh,
damage control is imploding, I guess. But it's like I feel like Kyrie Sane and Io will be decently okay by the like not in damage control. But what does Dakota Kai do?
I don't know. Maybe team with Raquel again or something. But I think they need to kick her out of the group.
Yeah.
Kick her out and be the bad Asians
A bad
for the
Asian.
women's division. But we got Ray versus Carlito right after this. I guess we got that Judgment Day promo, but all right. Yeah, Carlito looked a lot better like that. I thought this was a pretty good match. I heard some people saying it started slow, but like they're old. I thought this was Carlito's best match since coming back.
Yeah, I would agree. It's just, did he come back just to fill some spots?
What do
Because he has he won a match yet?
you mean? I don't know. Like a solo match?
Yeah,
I can't really remember him being in many solo matches, if I'm being honest with you.
yeah, that's true too. It just kind of seems like he's just there to like fill some space here and there where he's needed.
Hey, somebody had to be the new Dolph Ziggler, right?
Yeah, I guess. But so what did that like winning that earned Ray a chance at Damien next week? I guess.
I don't know. I felt like the ending of the match kind of deserved him the shot at Damien.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Damien was all mad at them even after this when he was about to get 619 and he was fresh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what is he mad
Like you just got beat.
about? But I thought the match was pretty good. I'd probably give it just a flat B.
It was funny when Michael Cole. I'd probably give it a B too. But when Michael Cole was like, the first match between Rey Mysterio and Carlito happened on SmackDown in 2004, and Pat McAfee was like, "Man, I was in middle school," and Michael Cole was like, "I actually commentated that match,"
Yeah.
and Pat McAfee was like, "Damn."
That's funny though.
Yeah.
It's crazy because like technically, I watched that match. I just
Yeah,
don't remember it.
I know.
You
Same.
know?
It's like I remember Ray and Carlito having interactions, but I can't like pinpoint at the exact match. But yeah,
Right. But the fact that was 20 years ago is kind of scary also, that I'm
yeah,
thinking.
very.
It's like I know I watched that match and that was 20 years ago.
Right.
All right. Let's see. After that, man, they had three matches back to back to back with like nothing in between. We got Bronson Reed versus Otis.
It was a decent match. The ending was definitely the main part of it, though.
Yeah, I knew how the match was going to go. If we're not including that part, I'm saying this was just a C.
Yeah,
Maybe
just the
C
match
plus because the
purely.
crowd was into it.
Yeah, just the match purely. I'd probably give a C plus, C plus also. But if they're counting the after, I'd probably give it an A.
All right. It seems like they're counting the after based on the picture. I
Yeah.
think the after was so good because it really made me. It really like makes you hate Chad. And
Yeah.
I thought the after was like an A segment. And like when he was about to whoop him, and the fact he pulled his belt off while telling him to bend on the ropes was pretty wild. But
Yeah.
like, but what's her name? Maxine Dupree catching the swipe was pretty good. She kind of telegraphed it a little bit because she was about to do it beforehand.
Yeah, she like
But
almost went for it. Yeah.
it was so good. Like you feel bad for her. You feel bad for Akira, kinda. You know, it's good. I think this is the most interesting of Raw without
Yeah.
Punk and Drew.
Right. Yeah, that was really good, and it'd be interesting to see if Otis helps Gable win the belt too before he turns on him, or if he costs him again.
See, I feel like Otis can't help Chad win it because, like, then what do the Creed brothers do, or are they just kicking Akira out of the group or something? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's a good position to be in because I think anything works, but I'm interested.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if he like goes to like not help Chad Gable, but like accidentally helps him and somehow. Like I don't know how exactly it would happen, but just like causes Sammy to like get hit and Gable like steals the pin. That'd be kind of cool.
Speaking of Sammy, Sammy came out for this. I can't stand this man. He is so judgy, dude. Like of all people to be that judgy, you know, it just don't work for me.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I also feel like they're trying to tie into that, like, oh, he learned his lesson from being in the bloodline.
But how did he learn his lesson? He had to be pushed to a point, and now he's like judging everybody for not being pushed to that point. Like, like he's such a good person that we should just feel for him and become a good guy because Sammy's involved in it.
I think it's more he's trying to make Otis leave before he gets to that point.
All right, but he don't got to be so judgy about it. Is what I'm saying. All
True.
right, let's see. What did they give this? An A plus.
Wow.
It was good, man. I'm telling you, it was so good.
Yeah, it was really good.
And let's see if there was anything in between that. I think everybody in that crowd felt a little nervous about watching a grown man getting whipped.
Yeah.
Let's see. Kathy Kelly had a backstage interview with Shayna Baszler and Zoe Starks, with Sonya Blade coming into it. Yeah, you know it. This I'm not gonna say it was filler. It's definitely going somewhere, but I just don't know where it's going.
Yeah, it was weird that they were just like, she didn't really do anything to them for them to be yelling at her like they were. Like, I feel like she just like was there, and they were like, "We don't need you around, okay? We know what we're doing." And she was just like, "I didn't say anything."
Self doubt, though.
Yeah,
That's what it's got to be. But
yeah,
like the thing is, she's like, no one respects you. You guys, you know, haven't done this and that, and blah 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 blah. Right? It's like Sonya. I don't mean to say it this way, but you literally haven't done anything. You won a tag title for a week, and then you got injured.
yeah,
You know, that was the one thing I thought was weird about it.
yeah. I
But
feel that.
It led to Alba Fire? Is it Fire? Alba Fire and Isla Dawn
Yeah,
challenging them next week. The two girls who literally are just there every week,
yeah, pretty
sometimes
much.
in the background.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they'll probably lose that, and that's what'll make Sonya start to be like, "See, you do need me" or something.
Yeah, probably. All right. And then we got the main event. Liv Morgan, Shayna Baszler, Steel Cage. That's a weird picture of Liv Morgan. And I will say, I thought it was a fun match. I don't think it was the most memorable thing of the night. A lot of incels hating on the ending after all. But I thought it was cool. Good match. B
You
plus.
see,
I'll say B plus just because the Steel Cage gives it that extra.
yeah, see, the match was fine, like in itself, some decent spots. The ending was funny, but it brings up the point with JD McDonough again, because why was he going out there to stop Dom if Dom was supposed to be costing Liv the belt? It was as if JD was stopping him from costing Liv because Liv told him something. Like,
So here's the thing with JD. What if Liv offered him a proposition, right? And he was like, "No way, I'm joining." And he doesn't want to tell the Judgment Day because they already barely trust the man. They're always like accusing him and everything. So he was just lying about it.
well, then why would he go out there and try to stop Dom if, like, Dom was supposed to be screwing Liv from the start?
Literally. No, my thing is like, why did they come out there and then they were going to leave? That's my thing.
Yeah, so like, what did JD say to him that would making Dom rethink it? Something's like there's something more. I know we'll get there, but it was pretty funny. Dom just fucking or Braun chasing him and blasting Dom into the cage, and that was funny. That was a
Yeah,
creative ending.
I like the ending. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
But my thing is like, what was Becky doing in a way? Because like, you didn't want to win with Dom holding the door open for you, but then you were gonna go escape through the door when all the ruckus was happening. You know?
yeah. Like, how is that any different?
Right? It's because you gave Liv 5 seconds to get up or something, or what? I don't know.
Maybe she
But
came to her senses and she was like, you know what, a win's a win. I'm out of
I know, right? Becky classic.
here. Yeah,
But
but then that kiss afterwards, it still seemed like Dom was hesitant about it. So it's like,
I mean, he got snatched into it.
yeah, that's
I
what I'm
mean,
saying though.
I
She's
could think of worse places to be in.
that's what I'm saying is that she's manipulating him.
Perhaps, or he knows they were on live TV. Well, there's a lot of people around,
Bro, I can't get caught lacking if I have lived, bro. People won't let me live that down.
Liv and Rhea, you don't get that lucky in your lifetime, dude.
Right? Yeah.
All right. Um. Yeah. B plus. Let's go.
Nice.
Starting to learn their system.
Right?
Um. Yeah. Overall. Oh. Yeah. See, cat. That's why you don't walk on everything. But yeah. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good show. Let's freaking do this reveal, man.
Yep.
We got 24 minutes before it's a 2-hour show. All right.
Jeez. All right.
Well, let's alternate it. Oh wait, let me record this part. Bang, rolling. Here is the top 50 wrestlers. We're gonna do 50 through 26 today. Whoops. Let's not air off my script. Got that little. Oh wait, no wait. Right. This is gonna make editing so much easier this go around.
Hell yeah.
Ah, my finger. All right. Don't need that. Okay. Do you want to go first?
We're doing like back and forth or like 10 and then 10.
I think we should go 50-41, and then I'll do my 50-41, or whatever, vice versa.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go.
Wait, wait. Do you have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, I'll say a few honorable mentions. Jimmy Uso. I just feel like he was close, but he hasn't been around enough, and he's been absent for a lot of main parts of his own storylines. Um, who else? There's a couple others I had. Dolph
I have
Ziggler,
mine written down if you want me to go first. Oh, okay.
Dolph Ziggler, Bobby Roode. Stop, Gracie G's. Dolph Ziggler, Bobby Roode, Andrade, mostly just because of one of my favorite matches ever included him. Um, Chad Gable, and Paige. She is not on my list anymore.
She wasn't on your list last time.
Yeah, she's she would have been if she stayed around, but
All right. I kind of have a long list here, right?
Mhm.
Logan Paul. I almost put him in.
Damn.
Almost did. Now, let me skip those guys. Chris Masters, Mr. Kennedy.
Mm.
As a kid, they for sure would have made it, but, you know,
Yeah.
cut short just because of they lost that. They didn't have the it factor, but they had the I part of it. You know what I mean? They never got the T.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley. Maybe one more year, but she's getting close.
Yeah.
Bailey, I still can't put her in yet, just because I thought this was going to be the year, but the WrestleMania just felt so not as good as I thought it was going to be.
I feel like the match exceeded expectations though.
The match was great. The build was horrible.
Yeah. Fair.
LA Knight, he is knocking on that door.
Hmm. Yeah. LA Knight's in my honorable mentions too.
And then I never thought I would come to this point, but he was so close to getting in. Sheamus. Sheamus
Oh.
almost made my list.
Yeah, I was gonna put him on mine, but then when it came down to it, I didn't. So
Yeah.
yeah, he's in mine too. But he's right there. Also, the
I got
Dudley Boys and RVD.
Dudley Boys at RVD. And then I got Tyler Breeze. He's like literally one of my favorite parts of Up, Up, Down, Down.
Yeah,
His song is low key a banger. And then
yeah,
he was always like funny, but it just wasn't enough. Just wasn't enough.
right.
And then these are guys who made my list last time but didn't make it this time. Montez Ford. I like Montez, but he like if anything went down a little bit from year to year.
Uh,
Cesaro. I love Cesaro. If there was 51, he's 51.
okay.
Scott Hall. Next year, Scott Hall will probably be on my list, but I'm writing in pen, and I like couldn't scratch anyone off for him. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then Baron Corbin, but I am predicting Baron Corbin will get back in my list.
Fair.
All right.
All right. So we're ready to just get to the list then.
Do you want me to go first?
No, I can go first. I just didn't know if
Okay.
you were ready. All right.
Oh yeah.
So 50. You made a lot of strides this year. I abided by your rule and didn't do tag teams together this time.
Hold on, hold on. If anyone in chat is watching, it's 50 wrestlers, right? Not
But it's
not
just
50
hard to
including tag
some
team.
guys it's hard to separate, all right? But
I'm just saying.
50 I got Jey Uso. I feel like as a tag team, he's up there regardless because I think they're the best tag team in the last decade. But he's been making real strides as a solo guy, especially like I said earlier with Jimmy being hurt. He kind of carried the bloodline thing. 49, I got Shane O'Mac. I think he's lower than he was last year on mine. I feel like I've always liked Shane. I feel like he gives it all when he goes. So I always
Wait,
got to have him
wait.
on there.
You're speeding through, man. I got to write these down.
Oh, my bad.
I can let you know where he was last time.
Where was he?
Hold on.
Uh, well,
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of just listening, so I wasn't writing them down yet.
oh, you're good.
Jay, well, wait. You were done with Jay Uso, right? Done talking about him.
Yeah, I was on to Shane.
I did think about Jay for a while. Did not include him,
Fair.
but I don't hate it. Jay, I think most people would say Jay's the more popular Uso. That's all I had to say on Jay. Sorry.
Okay.
Were you still talking about Shane?
No, I was gonna move on.
I love Shane. Can't throw him on yet.
Hmm.
Well, you probably won't ever if I if I'm saying, but
Yeah.
character wise, though, I do love Shane. You had Shane McMahon at 48 last year.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
One spot down.
All right, so 48 then. I got Sting. I love Sting.
Wow. Sorry.
I love Sting. I love WCW Sting. He was cool, but he was never one of my favorites even back then. He's just always been like the Undertaker. Like he was always there. It was always cool to see him, but he was just never one of my favorites. And his TNA run was okay. His AW run was just like nostalgic. So that's why he's fallen kind of far on my list.
You dropped Sting down 7 spots.
Okay. Okay.
And I will add on Sting was literally the first character I always made in old WWE games. Sting is, however, not on my list.
All right, 47. I think this is a new entrant, but I got Braun Strowman.
Wow.
I've always really liked Braun. I was upset with how they did him against Roman, but I feel like he's always been just fun to watch. He's entertaining, and I feel like he's gotten a lot better with the charisma and promos as well.
I agree. Braun is really good.
All right. I can't remember if he was on my list last time, but 46, I got Scott Hall. Mostly just with because of the impact the NWO had, and then also he was awesome as Razor and stuff. But yeah, I got Scott Hall 46.
So you didn't have Scott Hall because you had the entire NWO.
Oh,
if that if you are counting him at like as that biggest part or whatever, like let's say you meant Scott Hall for NWO, that is down dramatically from
yeah.
where you had it. So I'm just gonna assume you wouldn't have put Scott Hall that high.
So I feel like I don't have any NWO members that high. It's just like as a group they're that high. But yeah, because
I'm just not gonna count it because I don't want to put that big a drop next to
yeah,
his name.
well, because I mean at 45 I have Kevin Nash, so
All right.
I do think I always liked him a little more than Scott. But just together they were like awesome. I love the Wolfpack, but I also remember really liking Kevin Nash when he came back and was like feuding with Triple H. But then when I'm like watching back now, I'm like, why did I like Kevin Nash so much? But he was good for what he was, like a big man back then. He kind of revolutionized like the mobile big man when he could be mobile. But yeah, all right.
Before before going too far,
Mhm.
don't really care about Kevin Nash that much, so I won't really talk about him. Scott Hall, if I was an '80s kid, I think Scott Hall would have been my second favorite wrestler. But
Behind what, Mr. Perfect?
yeah, probably it would have been. I don't want to give away my list, but it would have been a fight between Mr. Perfect, Scott Hall, and like Ric Flair, probably. But yeah, I just like I said, I forgot to put him, and then I couldn't scratch anyone out. But Scott Hall will probably make my list next year when we do this.
Okay. All right. 44. I got my first woman of the list, Alexa Bliss. I feel like I've just always liked Alexa. I feel like her character has always been very entertaining no matter which version she's doing. And I think she's very underrated in the ring. Did I have her on my list last year?
You had one female on your list last year,
Oh wow. Well,
and it was not Alexa Bliss.
I know the one I had last year is still on there and I think she went up, but I have a couple women this time around.
I'll put little stars next to new entrants.
Okay.
Sorry, that was like an outside thought
All right.
idea bubble.
43. Drew McIntyre. I've always liked Drew, especially when he came back in NXT, and then like when he became the Scottish psychopath with like Dolphin stuff, he was super sick. But this most recent run has definitely elevated him further than it ever has. So I think he's a new entrant, right?
He is also new.
Yeah. But yeah, Drew. He by this time next year he could be a lot higher. So we'll see how this year plays out.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much on your last two, but they are both on my list.
Okay.
Those are the first two actually that we share so far.
Okay. All right. 42. This is also a new entrant because you said I didn't have any other women besides one. This is Rhea Ripley. I feel like she could probably steadily be climbing, especially because I feel like her match quality is becoming even better as the time goes on, and I feel like she's probably top five biggest stars in the company, men or women, at the moment, even with being injured. So
Yeah. I'll say before she got injured, she was probably two, unless we're counting The Rock.
yeah, that's fair. All right, even bigger than Punk.
I kind of think, dude, I even think she was bigger than Roman for a second.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
You
All right, then my last for this, the 40, 10, 50 to 41. I can't remember where I had him last year, but this is Rey Mysterio, legend of the game. He's always been fun to watch. I don't know how much longer he can keep going, but you know, he's slowed down a bit, but I still think he has some good left in the tank. So I always like watching Rey. He's just one of those guys you always like to see. He's not like one of my super favorites, but it's just always fun when he's around.
So Rey Mysterio is your first riser.
Oh, okay. What was
He
he
went up.
last time?
He was 44 last year. Now he went up three.
All right, that's fair. I definitely feel like in this last year, I've learned to like respect him more because Ray was always just kind of there for me as like a character, but then like seeing all his like old stuff and like rehashing his past, I was like, Ray was pretty sick.
I love Ray, so I won't say too much right now.
Yeah.
Do
All
you
right.
have any final thoughts on your first 10?
Definitely, like I expected, drastically different than last year, and I think it's only going to get more different. But until like, I think my top 10 is probably pretty similar as last year, but yeah, I kind of like this one better than last year so far. I think.
I'm so torn in between.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because last year I was like trying to predict who could make my top 50. And this year I kind of just was like sticking to it, but then I left off guys like Scott Hall, oh man, I'm so torn. All right, I will say the biggest surprise so far for me, I'm surprised you got Braun over Sting, or Braun at all. I mean, you did
Yeah.
give away your Braun shirt, bro.
That's because he got released, and it
All right.
also got like a rip in it.
Oh. Okay. Well, here we go. I have not seen my list in paper. Well, I've seen my list. I haven't looked at it though since we did this last year. So here, here are my honorable mentions last year, right? Adam Cole, Bailey, Matt Riddle, Paige, Johnny Gargano, Mr. Kennedy, Chris Masters, Xavier Woods. A little bit
There's
different this
some
go
similar
around.
guys on there, but
Yeah. All right. 50. Planet Stasiak. Keeping the bit going, baby. He is hilarious. I will die on the hill that I would like to see Planet Stasiak still, so I'm sticking with it.
okay.
All right. 49. Now, oh my, 49 through like 45 was such a freaking battle. It was like a war zone, dude, trying to like slot these characters or slot them in, right? But
Yeah.
49, I went with AJ Lee.
Wow.
Now, my reasoning for this was there was a good period, I would say like a 3-year period, where she was literally the only diva I gave any care about. Like in the slightest was the only diva I cared about. So I thought she deserved to make 49 or make my top 50.
Fair.
Any thoughts on the last two? Because I forgot to ask you.
I mean, like you said, I feel like the Plan Stasiak thing's kind of just a running bit, but then I'm a little surprised about AJ Lee. But I feel like I did that with a couple guys too, where I was like, I remember loving them so much at a certain point. I feel like it'd be criminal to leave them off.
I did not love AJ Lee, but she was the only woman I cared about in that division. All right, this one might surprise you. 48, and it's probably because of the time we're in right now in this period of time. Sami Zayn.
Yeah, that's very shocking to be honest.
like, like I either love Sammy or I can't stand him, and right now I'm in the I can't stand him phase.
Yeah.
you know. Uh, any thoughts? Any thoughts?
I mean, was he even on your list last year?
So last year, Sammy's, and this is a great example. Last year, I had Sami Zayn at 24, meaning Sami
Whoa.
Zayn has gone down.
Okay, yeah, that's like a half drop, like half his percentage, but okay.
Sami Zayn has gone down 24 slots.
Jeez. Okay,
Thoughts?
okay.
Thoughts?
Uh, he is on my list, but he did not fall like that. We'll say.
All right. 47, I got Xavier Woods. Xavier
Mm-hmm.
Woods.
Really?
Now, I think Xavier Woods is a very underrated wrestler.
Yeah.
I think he could probably hold his own on the mic against just about anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like the host of like one of my favorite YouTube channels all time. So I
Right.
feel like it'd be criminal to. I felt bad about it last year not having him on the list. So I got him at 47 this year.
Okay. I he's not on my list. I feel like he's an honorable mention just because I like the New Day so much, but I do agree with you that he's very underrated in the ring and has a good. He's good on the mic.
All right. All right. 46. I've got Adam Cole. Adam Cole. Now,
Nice.
I did not have Adam Cole on the list last year, but
Mm-hmm.
back to Up, Up, Down, Down. He's one of my favorite people on there, or who was. Like, literally, the last few weeks, I've been watching old Up, Up, Down, Down stuff, just like, because you know how the algorithm will just randomly bring up old stuff?
Yeah.
It started bringing those up, and I'm like, oh man, I used to love these videos so freaking much. Then, if if I was watching NXT all the time, he probably would have been my favorite from that brand ever.
Yeah.
And when I do see AEW stuff, I always like his stuff, and I think they're treating him like crap. They're not treating him like crap. But if this was happening, like the exact same stuff on WWE, I swear they would say they were burying this man. Like he debuted, and then instantly they had a bigger debut right after him. Like that's cool in paper, in theory, but that's also like a dick move.
Yeah.
And then also on top of that, like you said, he just got buried by MJF. I know he's had some badly timed injuries, but I don't think he's doing anything over there. But what he is doing, I'm interested in because of him.
Yeah, that's fair.
Thoughts?
He's also on my list, and I feel like he's a good amount higher than you because I did watch NXT and he was like one of the greatest. So I'm just glad he made your list at all.
All right, 45. Now, this is a prediction. Well, I mean, right now he's close to where he should be in my top 50, but I think by the end of his career he will be in my at least top 20,
Mm-hmm.
and that is A Town Down Austin Theory.
I knew he was gonna make your list at some point. I just didn't know where.
Austin Theory, hilarious. Austin Theory, I don't want like no homo, but he has the physique, and he's good. Like like what stuck out in my mind most recently was when Randy kind of like botched the top turnbuckle thing, and he just like landed into like a perfect blockbuster, and then still made it look like a like top rope uh, suplex. He's
Yeah.
good. Austin
Yeah.
Theory's good,
He
and
is
he
good.
never like really botches. He's a
Yeah.
great seller. Got Austin Theory 45.
All right.
So technically, Austin Theory has gone down one slot because I had him at 44 last year. So it's fair. I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. 44, I got Olivia Morgan.
Is her real name Olivia?
I don't know.
Wow, I can't believe Liv made your list, to be honest, but I feel like
Well,
you and Derek are definitely bigger fans of Liv than I
I'm also making a correction because I don't know if you remember this or not. I was doing like a little scaling system where I had a woman in my every 10 slots, there would be a woman. So
am.
they were like 10% of my list.
Right.
Uh, Liv Morgan was, let's see, 27 last year.
Whoa.
Yeah. I kind of fixed that, but she still makes it because she is my favorite diva right now.
She's good, like she's a fun character to watch. I just think I'm not a huge fan of her move set. Like even Derek was dissing her finisher this morning. And then she's not a great promo.
I actually like her moveset. I don't like her promo. And if
Yeah.
it was if it was for her promo, she would be up higher, maybe into like flirting with my 30s, but not in there yet. But Liv has gone down 17 spots. This is where she should have been last year, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
All right. 43, I got the man, the myth, the legend, the Academy, Chad Gable.
Wow.
Chad, I still believe, is one of the best wrestlers of all time when it just comes to in ring.
Uh-huh.
There's nothing he can't do. He can do some high rope stuff. He can do grappling. He's strong. And he's good on the mic.
Right.
The only thing Chad doesn't have for me yet is the accolades. And if he ever gets those, he will definitely move up into my 20s.
Yeah.
Probably low 20s, but he will move up into my 20s.
Yeah, I feel like that's how I feel about Jay. Like if Jay had a couple wins and maybe a couple singles titles, he definitely would have been higher.
So let's see. I had Chad at 48 last year, so he is my first riser,
Nice.
moving up 5 slots, and he deserves it. All right. Oh, damn, I looked at my old list for some reason. 42, I got Shinsuke Nakamura.
And he fell pretty hard, huh?
I can't remember. I don't want to look yet because I want to give my explanation first. But
Okay.
Shinsuke is in the biggest slump of his career, I would say, right
Yeah.
now. And it's just like, as much as I love the presentation and his wrestling and his look and all, look and presentation, same thing, the song and all that, I just don't find it fair to put him above anybody ahead of him right now. So I got him at 42 at the moment.
Okay.
But God, if Shinsuke wins one world title, he will move up probably 10 spots.
Yeah.
Thoughts? Oh, wait, hold on, wait. What did I have Shinsuke? Oh, I had Shinsuke at 40 last year, so
Oh wow.
that's not bad. That's not a big drop. So he's only moved down 2.
So like I said, I feel like I really did my list this time on like who are my favorite guys instead of like where I think they should be, like depending on like the world or whatever. So I feel like mine is drastically different, especially when it comes to those like top tier NXT guys, because I was like probably my favorite period of watching wrestling. Like from an in-ring standpoint. Like, yeah, the nostalgia of watching like as a kid is probably trumps anything, but NXT's like Golden Era Man was like probably my favorite just wrestling show to watch ever.
Nice, nice. So it sounds like Shinsuke is in Christian's 20s. We'll see. We'll see. All right. And my last of my first 10, it is Bobby Lashley,
Okay.
41.
I almost forgot Bobby, and then like towards the end, I remembered him, and I was like, I gotta fit him in somewhere. Like Bobby's like one of my favorite.
Dude, Bobby is so hard to slot for me. Because, like, right now, I like Bobby. When
Yeah.
Bobby was on Raw, like in 2007 or whatever, Bobby was like John Cena to me. Like, it was like
Yeah.
they were neck and neck. So I don't know where to place him, but he's got to make the list. So I got to say 41 for now.
Yeah. I feel like with you, like Bobby was like he was one of those dudes I was like looking forward to seeing every single week. He was pretty much one of the only reasons like him and Punk for me ever watching the ECW like brand back then. And the fact that he finally came, got his world titles and stuff, definitely like he's like probably cemented on my list forever.
There was no wrestler I was happy to get an action figure of, than Bobby Lashley.
Right.
When I got my Bobby, I was like, oh, hell yeah, dude. I
Yeah.
love that one. All right. But that being said, Bobby was 46 for me last time. So he has gone up
Yeah.
5 spots.
Nice.
All right. All right. Back to you, Maestro.
All right. Number 40, I have Kofi Kingston here. The New Day part definitely raised him up pretty high in just the grand scheme of things. But I always liked Kofi even as a singles competitor beforehand. Like he was just one of those guys I was always like, oh shoot, Kofi's tight. His move set, his charisma. I feel like Kofi's just one of those like lifers that you'll always remember. And he never really had like a bad match. He wasn't great promos early, but he learned it, and I feel like working with Xavier and Big E just helped his career further. As we've seen, he won the world title. So no, I said that's the only thing that will take long. I mean, really, you just have to. If you start the noodles, you can do the rest. But yeah, so Kofi's 40.
So I'm assuming this is like your NWO thing, so I'm not gonna put the or put the up or down. But you had the entire New Day at 19.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I definitely think they're stronger together, but I feel like out of all of them, Kofi's the only one who got I can put on my list by themselves.
All right. All right.
All right, 39. Again, going to the what I said about NXT, I got Johnny Gargano. I remember first seeing him in the Cruiserweight Classic, and I was like, dude, this guy's sick. And then like he came into NXT, he was like kind of how we were talking earlier about him, like he was maybe a little too much of a baby face. But I feel like when he actually wrestled and the storytelling he can do while wrestling, maybe not care that he was like such a big baby face. And then he had such a good heel run after that. And then the stuff with Champa, the stuff with Adam Cole. One of my favorite matches of all time is Gargano versus Andrade. So he will probably most likely always make my list unless he does something drastically stupid in the next couple years. Like if he just like his character just gets awful or something.
So get this. You had Johnny Gargano at 40 last year.
Nice. Went up
He won
one.
yeah, one spot. Were you gonna still talk about it, him?
No.
I will say, if we ever make a top 10 theme songs, he's
Yeah.
definitely the original
The
Rebel Heart is
yeah,
going
the
in there.
OG Rebel Heart is like one of the best like themes.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like he fell down quite a bit, I think. But number 38, I have Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, whatever you want to call him. But His WWE run, I was so fond of. He was like one of the big things I got back into wrestling into in like 2013, and he's still good in AEW. I do think they pushed the like narrative of him being the best wrestler in the world a little too much, especially when they have him lose all the time. But he's always fun to watch. He's really good promo. He's really good on the indies. He's been good everywhere he's gone. So I feel like he should always be in the top 50 list. It's kind of hard to keep Daniel Bryan off of it.
All right. So he is your biggest faller
Ooh,
so far. He has
yeah.
dropped 13 slots. You had him at 25 last year.
Wow. I mean,
He,
that makes sense. I feel like I said, his AEW run has really soured me on it. But when he's like long and retired, I'm sure I'll kind of forget about it.
did you say when he's old and retired, you'll forget about him?
No, when he's long and retired, I'll probably like forget about the sourness I feel from his AEW run right now.
I was gonna say, damn.
So fucked up.
No, see, it's funny. Last year, I kind of stunned you and Robert when I said I'm not going to diss Bray Wyatt by putting Planet Stasiak over Bray Wyatt. I'll put Planet Stasiak over Daniel Bryan, but I won't put him over Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
I will say that sentiment still stands true. Daniel Bryan is not in my top 50.
Wow. Fair. All right. Number 37, NXT living up again. I got Adam Cole, baby, right here. I feel like he might be the greatest NXT champion ever. Definitely the greatest group in NXT history that he led. One of the greatest groups in wrestling, probably, was the Undisputed Era. Just sucks we never got to see it past NXT, but yeah, Adam Cole, he's super good in the ring, great on the mic. He babyface or heel, he just knows how to do it. His AEW run has, I think, dropped him a bit. I can't remember what I had him last year, but like you were saying earlier, I don't think it's to fault of his own because he's still putting good work in. He's just getting mistreated. But yeah, Adam Cole, he's one of my favorites.
Are you done?
Yeah.
So this is hilarious, right?
Uh huh.
Daniel Bryan dropped 13.
Uh huh.
Adam Cole has gone up 13 spots. You
Dang.
had him at 50 last year.
So I think what swayed me the most, it was like I want to say it was like a week or two ago. I watched the history of like Adam Cole on like a YouTube video, and I was like, man, Adam Cole is that dude. So I feel like that's what made him like go up so much. I thought he dropped, but that makes
That's
sense.
so funny.
Yeah, that
You
is
even
crazy.
said that. All right.
All right, 36, another NXT guy, Tommaso Ciampa. He was like one of the guys who no one ever thought would be the pinnacle of like any division. And so when he won the NXT championship, especially from Aleister Black, it was like such a shock. But he did so well with it that he just became like kind of like just one of those guys you always think of when you think of NXT. And like I said, the feud with Gargano is like one of the greatest feuds we've seen. He hasn't really done much on the main roster. I hope that changes. But even like going back and watching his indie stuff and like a couple matches he had in TNA and stuff, he's just one of those wrestlers that no matter who you put him in against, he'll have a good match. So Ciampa is on my list.
I like Ciampa. I haven't seen enough yet. I know he was great in NXT, but I will say, do you think you have him going up or down? Has he rised or lowered?
Lowered or rise. I think he rise.
He has gone up 3 spots. You had him at 39 last year. He's really creating a separation between him and Johnny in your eyes, I see.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Johnny's always good in the ring, but I think Ciampa beats him in like promos and like charisma.
Fair enough.
All right, 35. Got our boy Bobby Lashley. I think he might have dropped. I think that might just be a circumstance of me like separating the tag teams and like stuff like that. But Bobby's always been one of my favorites. I would say his only weak point is he's not great on the mic, but he has been better since he's returned, I think. His TNA run was crazy. He won every single belt simultaneously. uh, I remember when he came to TNA, I was like super hyped about it. And at first, he didn't live up to it, but once like TNA kind of rebranded, he like really took off. So yeah, I feel like Bobby's just always been that guy that you were always excited to see, and I feel like he's just a cool, nice dude outside of the ring too.
Yeah, and he's siblings with Max Caster.
And he's from
Oh,
Colorado Springs, baby.
right, right. Bobby Lashley. I already said my piece on him. You have risen him 7 spots.
Oh, nice. I thought he would have dropped a bit, but cool.
Yeah, you had him at 42 last year.
All right. 34. Most people are always pretty shocked when I have him so low. Shawn Michaels. I like Shawn. He's one of the greatest. I was just never that big on him. I thought there was a lot of guys better than him, but I can't argue with how good he was in the ring and storytelling. And he is 50% of one of my favorite matches of all time, him versus Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. So I feel like I couldn't leave him off the list. And just for what he did for the business, I had to put him higher than a lot of these other
Yeah, that's criminal, bro.
guys.
That's all I'm gonna say. I'm
I
just
think
glad you. Huh?
I was gonna say I think my next entrant might be a little more shocking because of what we talked about last year when this pick came up and how this list started.
I'm just saying. I'm at least glad you gave him some credit for that Kurt Shawn match because I remember last year when we were talking about this, and he was like, but you were like, I feel like Kurt carried that. I was like, get out of here. They both were great in that
They both
match.
were great in that match, and like I said, I don't think Shawn is like bad or anything. Just he was just never one of the guys that I was like, man, he's one of my favorites. But I always was excited to see his matches because I knew he'd put on a good show. All right.
Well, you dropped Shawn 6 spots.
Okay. Well, 33. I feel like it was only right to put them pretty close. I got Bret the Hitman Hart. And I remember this whole list started because you said, would you put him in your top 30? Technically, he dropped out of my top 30, I think. Because, like, I feel like I put him in last year so high just because I was like, man, he was like so good in the ring. But then when I actually went and thought about it, I was like, I was never really a Bret fan growing up. Like, he was a little before my time, before I really started watching. I didn't really like him in WCW. I just remember he was good at wrestling. That's like, but he was so good at wrestling and transcended the sport so much that I feel like he has to at least be pretty high.
So I will say that because Brett was the whole like catalyst of the whole list, I think both of us were overthinking him a little bit
Yeah.
because he dropped a little on mine as well. But
Okay.
you have him also dropping 6 spots, so you moved Brett and Sean down 6 spots exactly.
Okay.
But
That makes sense.
the order did not change of those two.
Mhm. All right. This is another one who everyone is usually put pretty high, and I never do because I just was never a big a fan of him. 32, I have Edge. I get that he was cool. I know that he was the catalyst against, like, as the heel against a lot of my favorite faces, but I just never seen the appeal. I don't like his move set. He was funny, and watching back, I would definitely say he was a lot better. Him and Christian were a lot better than the Hardys and the Dudleys, entertaining and like, you know, charisma wise. But I just couldn't get into him like that. Like he just, I don't know. I respect him, but he's just not. I'm not a huge fan.
I'll have more to say on Edge later, but you have risen Edge 6 spots on your list.
Okay.
Last year you had him at 38.
All right. Well, he sets up my next one because also going back and rewatching this dude, fucking. You've always said it, and I've like always half agreed with you, but also been like, I think you're giving him too much credit. Christian is pretty fucking good. He was super good in the ring. He's hilarious. I think overall as a wrestler, he was better than Edge. I don't know what the conflict was that he didn't get the bigger push, but yeah, Christian was hilarious. He had to play the loser a lot, but he did it so well.
So, just like Brett and Sean, you have slotted. You basically just like mixed them up like this, but
Yeah.
Christian has moved up 6 spots also. So you also had him right in front of Edge last year.
Well, at least I was on the same page last year where I thought Ed Christian was a little better than Edge.
I will say I don't I don't mind your list. It's not where I would put some of these guys, but I'm not as offended as I was last year when you had Christian and Edge barely in the top 40.
Yeah. I think my next five are gonna shock you pretty decent too. So we're doing 30 through 26, right?
Yeah, yep, yep.
Okay. Here we
Save
go.
these five though. Save these five. All right, back over to me. At 40, I believe he's just over 40. Some call him a demon. I call him a prince. Finn Balor.
Damn, 40?
40 for Finn Balor.
Fair,
I
I guess.
just don't have those love moments with Finn yet. But Finn is like the funniest dude, low key, which is so weird.
Yeah.
Like when they were beating up Ray, and he was like, "You think this is your 25th anniversary? It's my birthday." As he's like dragging him through through
Yeah.
the aisles. He's hilarious, but it's kind of like the Chad thing. I just need a little bit more success from Finn, like another world title reign, and he could move up probably 5 spots.
Fair.
Thoughts? Thoughts?
Um, just the NXT thing. I definitely, I'll have Finn higher, but I'm just glad he like made your list with like making your list off of what WWE has like kind of done with him just shows how good he is, even with like kind of losing a lot like that.
He also has one of the sickest ladder spots I can remember, and that Money in the Bank where Andrade gave him that front flip or sunset power bomb onto the ladder that was on the ropes, and they were just
Yeah.
bouncing off. Oh my gosh, I don't know how they did that, but
Right.
I had Finn. Did I not have? Oh, this is your list. I had Finn at 36 last year, so he's gone down 4 spots, but he could easily make that back up.
Fair enough.
All right, 39. I never know my stance on this guy. Dolph Ziggler.
Mhm.
Dolph has cut some of the greatest promos that I've ever watched live, but you just know he's not gonna do anything to back it up in a way.
Yeah.
So and Dolph, he had a good song, he had a good look, he had good moments. It's because he always lost, you know.
Yeah.
I'm working on something, dude. Hold on. What'd you leave? What'd you leave? Your what? You brought it down here? I don't remember you bringing anything down here. I don't think it's down here, man. Unless you left it out there. All right. I just left on Finn, right? No, I was
Yeah.
talking about Dolph.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, Dolph.
Dolph. Yeah, I don't know where I was going. Let me just. Where did I have him last year? I had Dolph at 43, so he's gone up 4 spots.
Okay.
I don't know. if anybody's likely to get passed up on this list besides Planet Stasiak, Dolph is probably the guy you'll pass. You know?
Fair.
All right. 38. I know this will offend some people, but I got the Micker, Mick Foley.
Yeah, it's offensive
Mick
to me.
Mick is so great, but Mick is like the color yellow to me. Like he always makes the other colors like look cooler next to him. You know what I mean? Like I love Mick, and Mick is funny, and he has made. You could argue he's made like more stars in the ring than just about anybody, but yeah, I got him at 38.
Okay.
But who the hell is the Micker? Last year I had Mick at 28, so I dropped the man 10 spots, but
Yeah, dang.
he's never going off my top 50 though. I
Yeah.
love Mick is such a great, nice guy. All right, 37. I was the only man who had this dude in his top 50, surprisingly. I've got Cody Rhodes, 37.
Yeah.
Now he has one of the greatest WrestleMania moments of all time, if not the greatest. But I don't know. It's that you want it till you got it thing. And I am happy I got it. But like let's keep right now he's just doing this for me. So I need
Yeah.
some more of this and then I'll start raising him. But he's starting to get the credentials. Everyone loves Cody. Everyone sings his song. I don't even like Cody's song, but I like singing his song. So Cody 37, he most likely will rise. Last year I had Cody at 32, surprisingly. That is a little surprising. So he's dropped 5 spots. Thoughts?
Yeah, no, he didn't make my list last year, but he's on it this year.
All right. Okay. 36. I missed the man, one of the most creative minds of all time, but sort of like the Dolph Ziggler thing, it like didn't lead to anything that was like a, a mainstay in my mind. So I got Bray Wyatt at 36.
Okay.
Anything?
What was he? I mean, I know I get like you weren't like always a huge Bray fan, but I feel like you were always able to respect his character.
I mean, I've always liked Bray. I just knew it wasn't going to go anywhere,
Yeah.
you know? And then sometimes I thought the promos like were just dragging, you know? Like it was cool, but it's like, all right, you know, just you're talking about a firefly growing through a tunnel or something like that. Like, nice. You know, he has gone up 5 spots for me. So, yeah,
Okay. Fair.
we miss you, Bray. All right, 35. I know your feelings on them. Yeah. I know your feelings on this person. It's still not going to sway me. I got Lita, 35.
My feelings on this person.
Yeah, last year you called her trash.
I didn't say she's trash. Just you go back and watch, dude. She botched a lot. Her mic skills were terrible. It's just hard to put her on a list like this.
Hey, her mic skills might not have been the greatest, but she was the biggest heel for WWE women for like probably, she's definitely top 5.
I guess.
And she could hit that lead assault, bro.
Yeah, but now we got like Io Sky and Tiffany Stratton hitting some
But
clean
there was
ass.
a first. There was a first, and she was her. Yeah, I respect Lita more now than I did back then, but this is like a mutual respect, like not a mutual because she don't know me. This is like a respect for my list kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, fair.
So Lita, 35, and she was smoking back then. What did I have her last year? Oh wow, I had Planet Stasiak was kind of like on purpose. Lita, 35 last year, 35 this year.
Wow,
Yeah, that is crazy.
that is
All right.
crazy.
This one, oh no, the next one. 34. This man has every ounce of respect I can give him. The Miz.
Mm. The
Uh,
Miz,
uh,
it was hard not to put the Miz on mine, but he's not on mine.
wow, really?
Yeah.
Damn, you didn't have Miz last time? Oh, you had Miz at 43 last time.
Okay. I just I do feel like he's been kind of lackluster compared to what he used to do.
That's fair. But the Miz, everything the Miz does is like it's always at least good, you
Yeah.
know. And the fact he's gone this far when he was just the real world nerd that like no one wanted around. Like basically, he was like Matt Stryker in the beginning, you know.
Yeah.
Matt Stryker, who is he anymore? The Miz, like two-time world champion, you know. The Miz,
Yeah.
respect, dude. That's all I have to say. Respect.
Yeah, I agree. No dissing on him. I just he's never been one of my favorites. It's always just been like you said, just I've respected
As much respect I have for the Miz, he did go down one spot.
him.
All right, this one. I have no idea what to say on this because it's so like conflicting feelings wise and all. But I, at 33, have slotted redacted Lesnar.
I figured that's who you were talking about. I wanted to put him on there also, but it's like the conflicted things, like you were saying. Like I was like, I don't know.
Like, I already don't know how to feel on the situation itself. It's like there are parts I don't think are that bad, and then there are parts that, if they're true, I'm like, "Eh," you know. But that being said, since I don't know what happened, I'm just gonna go off of the great memories I have of the guy, and like, but there's a little cloud in front of it, so he's dropped. But yeah, Brock before leaving WWE in the beginning, my God, was the man. I don't
Yeah.
care what anyone says. It was going to be the Rock Austin era straight into the Brock era, and no
Yeah.
one had any complaints.
Fair.
His stuff with Kurt is like top five. I almost want to say that's like a top five rivalry of all time.
Oh,
It was
if
so
you're
good.
talking like just like two guys who just matched each other's like athleticism and intensity, it's definitely like right there.
I've like never seen a better two pairing of guys like on the mic, in the ring. Because like as great as The Rock and Austin were on the ring, on the mic, in the ring it was great, but we just loved the like big spots in there. Bell to bell, Kurt and Brock was just 5 star right at the start of the bell. You know.
Yeah.
That being said, I had Brock at 14 last year.
Whoa.
Yeah, so Brock has dropped 19 slots.
Fair. Oh, what? Little breaking news again. TNA champion Jordan Grace pulled up to NXT demanding a title shot at Battleground.
What? Current TNA champion?
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
TNA is just that mutual party.
Work with
They're like
anybody.
yeah. They're like Korea during the First World War or the Second World War. Yeah. But so you said Brock's not on your list?
No, I didn't put him on this year.
Yeah, so Brock was your 22 last year.
Oof. So he's probably my biggest fall because he went from 22 to not.
Yeah, probably. All right. 32, the man who started, you could argue, started this whole section or playlist on the channel. Bret Hart, 32. Like you said, he was very great in the ring. I don't know many guys better, but I was also not alive during that time. And
Right.
when you watch it back, you know the bar has kind of been set so like high that yes, he would still be great, but like I don't think he's better than like Chad Gable on the mic. You know, they're about the same. So Brett was great. He really took the business to great places. I'm giving him his respect. 32 though is where I got
It's crazy. We almost got him like the same.
him. Yeah, just about. Where'd you have him? 33.
Yeah.
All right. And Brett was my 29 last year, so I only dropped him 3 spots.
Yeah.
All right. 31. I know this isn't going to upset you, but I know this man's a lot higher on your list.
Uh,
31. This man, there's nobody. What's the word? Is it Demean you? Nobody puts you down like this guy does. Samoa Joe, the best. Look at
yeah.
making you look like a very bad person. He's
Yeah.
good in the ring, but my God, the who he has killed on the mic is like a mile long, dude.
Right.
Jeff Hardy comes to mind right away. Scott Hall comes to mind. Brock comes to mind. He's so good on the mic. I don't know many guys better. I just
Right.
wish I could have seen it 10 more years.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, he's definitely higher on mine because I kind of did see it for 10 more years and like TNA and stuff. But yeah, Smojo's just he's so believable too. I think that's his best attribute is he just makes you believe what he says. Like you're like, yeah, that dude could kick anybody's ass.
And then I will throw this in. He's gone up 7 spots from last year. But to be fair, I played Suicide Squad, and he was funny in that game. So
Yeah.
goes up even. I don't. That's not the reason why he went up, but
Yeah.
it's just funny. All right, that's my next set of 10. Any thoughts? Any thoughts?
Not bad. Like you said, like I'm like with you on mine. Like some things I don't totally agree with, but not a bad list.
All right. Would
All
you
right.
like to do your last 5 of the night?
I do. I think these next two are going to be a little controversial, especially if Robert's watching. But number 30, I
AJ
got
Styles.
Jeff Hardy. AJ Styles. But I got Jeff Hardy. He's kind of fallen for me rewatching a lot of his older stuff. He's still always fun to watch in the ring, but dude, Team Extreme was just not it with on the mic, man. It was so hard to watch sometimes. But I can't like take away from like I feel like Jeff never really got that good on the mic, which will like play into my next entry. But he was always just fun to watch, fan favorite, awesome music. The Hardy Boys to his solo song. So I just feel like he's also one of those guys that just I was such a big fan as a kid. I couldn't keep him off the list. Like pretty decently high.
You brought up Robert. I almost feel Robert would agree with you on this. The last time I talked to Robert about Jeff Hardy, it was like he keeps rooting uh, his what do you call it, legacy. You know,
Yeah, that's
so
another
you
thing. Like,
might not be that surprised by Robert's answer.
yeah, I mean, with also like how much he messes up and like his TNA or his AEW run was like very hard to watch. They're definitely he's overstaying it a bit. So yeah, I agree with Robert on that too.
Where do you think he had Jeff last year?
25.
You had Jeff at 14, meaning
Oh
Jeff has dropped 16 spots for you.
man. Okay. Well, 29. I got his brother Matt. I don't know why, but as a kid, Matt Hardy was like my dude. Like I had the camo pants. I was like doing like never say die like saying or whatever. When he freaking side effect edge off the stage into the like electrical stuff, that was one of my favorite moments like ever. I was like, whoa. I really feel like it was that feud. Like it was the Matt Hardy version one, and then the Edge feud that really like solidified him as one of my favorites. I just feel like he might not have been as fun to watch, but I think he was more technical in the ring, and he got way be better on the mic than Jeff ever did.
I will say you're definitely like 1 in 1,000 people who have Matt over Jeff.
I know. I know.
But last year you had Jeff over Matt.
Yeah, I could see that.
Do you
Like I
know where you?
said,
Huh?
did I have Matt at 25?
You had Matt at 23.
Okay. I just like I said, I feel like rewatching a lot of the old stuff made me really see how much Matt worked on his character and how much Jeff just like rode being fun and exciting to the top, you know?
Yeah,
Like I
I
feel like
think
Matt
Matt's always been the brains.
yeah, Matt really like perfected his craft and Jeff was just like, "Hey, everybody likes me cuz I'm cool." Like he's like, "All right."
Does that piss you off, those kind of guys, though?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. But
All
yeah.
right.
All right. 28. Another guy I almost forgot. I had to re-put him on my list because I don't know why I just spaced him out. I got Batista. Batista was just so cool. One of the most believable guys who were like, a beast. He has one of the best entrance themes, I think. One of the best heel turns, I think. He can make you love him. He can make you hate him. I think Batista was just like one of those. He's just one of those like memories I have very fond of as a kid on Raw and SmackDown. One of the best face turns as well when he turned on Evolution. So I think I had him higher last year though.
You had Batista 12 spots higher at
Wow,
16.
that is kind of crazy. See, there's a lot of people on this list that I feel like I could change any moment. But
I love Batista, so I'm not going to say much right now.
I would say I think how short his run kind of was kind of hurts him for me.
Short?
Yeah, because like his main run was only like, you know, 8 years or so.
If you want to look at it that way.
And then I didn't really like when he came back that much, to be honest. Like I didn't like. I feel like he lost a lot of like skill when he left. Like he was still okay in the ring, but he botched a lot of promos when he came back. It was kind of weird.
I feel you fickle fans just ruined that whole run. Batista came back 100, bro. Was on live event shows and everything. And everybody just disrespected the man.
Okay, I don't like fault him for that decision, but forcing him in the main event over like guys people were like waiting to get to that spot for years was it's just never gonna work.
I don't know, man.
I mean, we just seen it this year.
It worked though. Everybody wanted to see The Rock versus Cody.
Oh, but no one wanted to see Rock versus Roman. All right.
I mean, I don't know.
All
Go ahead.
right, 27. I got Sami Zayn. Once again, one of those NXT guys that was just like so fun to watch. He was like one of the first like big stars in NXT, I'd say. And then his bloodline stuff was like one of the best stories we've seen in decades. I have felt like he was a little lost in the shuffle until he got the IC belt. Now I'm like, he's got something good going again. But he's like you said, he's kind of playing second fiddle in his own story. But it's still interesting, and I still like Sammy a lot. I don't. I feel like you're a little harsh on him, but
I had him higher than you did last year.
okay. But now I have him higher this year.
So were you harsh on him last year?
No, but in this last year, he's had some of like best work he's ever had.
He's had some suck up work he's ever had.
All right. Well, yeah, that's where Sammy is on my list.
Sammy has risen 5 spots for you. But I've already said my piece on him. Sammy could be anywhere from 50 to 25 for me.
I feel like if he was a heel, he'd be 25 for you.
Maybe. Possible.
All right. 26th. I can't remember where I put him last year. I don't know if it was this high, but a guy who I hated for so long, but has turned his career around and earned my respect. I got Roman Reigns at 26. He would be higher if he didn't have all those years of me hating him. And I feel like his promo work has gotten way better. I still am not a huge fan of his in ring. He's like, he does some cool things, but it's mostly like storytelling. And I think his Shield brethren are definitely better than him in the ring. But yeah, that's where I got Roman.
So where do you think you had Roman last year?
I want to say like 30 something.
You didn't have Roman Reigns at all on your list
Oh,
last year.
wow. That's crazy. That is crazy. I feel like a big part of it is also like, as much as I don't know, like, I think Cody can carry the company, it does feel like a big loss without him there right
It does.
now.
It does so much.
Like, he just like brought a different kind of aura to the show.
Yeah. I like your list so far, where it's going. It is a lot different than last year, though.
Yeah.
Batista, man. Oh, God. Him not being like 25 and up, though, is like crazy to me.
Yeah.
All right. At 30, I have the Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre.
Dang, he went up a lot from last year, huh?
Drew was not on my list last year.
Wow. Okay.
Drew was not only not on my list, he was not an honorable mention last year.
Man.
But
Okay.
he has he has the things like Shinsuke and Finn and Chad are missing, which is a great resume. He has WrestleMania moments. He's won big events, and now he's doing his best mic work, and I can't deny him. He is on fire, and I only see him going higher.
Yeah, honestly, once that Punk feud like kicks in for real, man, we're in for like a generational feud.
I know, right? And the stuff he was doing with Seth before Punk even came back was good.
Yeah.
He's just been on fire since Solo has screwed him out of the title. He's just been killing it.
Yeah, this is probably one of the best heel turns like in recent memory for sure.
Yeah, seriously. Like his old heel turn was good. It was nowhere near this good.
Yeah.
It's crazy. All right. Now, as I'm looking at this, I kind of think I should have swapped these two. But 29, I have one of the funniest wrestlers of all time, Owen Hart. Owen Hart is so freaking funny. Every story you hear about Owen is so funny, dude. Like I'm not gonna spend the whole time talking about Owen's funny stories, but Brett was like he was in the room with his dad, and his dad was just sitting there talking on the phone with one of his old buddies, and then just out of nowhere he goes, "Well, Rick, if you wanted to try me, you should have tried me," right? And he gets so mad that his face is starting to vein up, and then he says his dad just hung up the phone real mad, and then he walks over to Brett and he's like, "Owen, he got me." And there's so many stories like that, dude. Owen is so funny.
See,
And then
Owen's one of those guys I've always like respected and stuff, but like I barely got to see Brett. I didn't get to see like any of Owen like
yeah,
in his prime, so that's why he's like hard for him to put him on my list.
he's definitely this high on his list because of the outside of the ring stuff, but inside of the ring, Owen was like maybe the only guy in the Attitude Era who was like doing flips and all that stuff like in a good spot. Like Jeff and them came later, but they're like I guess they are the Attitude Era, but like Owen was there at the beginning of that, the first I should say, doing like flips and stuff. That wasn't like a pre-undercard guy.
Yeah.
Owen was good. Owen was really good. I think he's. It sounds blasphemous almost to say he was as good a wrestler as Brett, but I think he like could go toe to toe with Brett just wrestling.
Well, Brett has actually gone on record saying he thought Owen was better than him. He said he could do everything I can do, and then more.
And that's the Hitman saying that.
I don't know. I
But
mean,
maybe Brett like places it in better. Maybe he's a better psychologist.
yeah, that's fair.
Because just because you can do more doesn't mean you're like a better
Yeah, I
wrestler.
do think that's what he was implying. Like he can do my moves, plus like he can do the high flying stuff. But it's hard to put it together like Brett did.
Yeah. And then lastly, I'll end off with Owen saying, "Nobody has made Slammy Awards more prestigious than Owen Hart has," and I stand by that. All right. So wait, what did I have Owen last year? I had Owen at 26, so I only dropped him 3 spots.
Nice.
I actually thought I was raising him up this year, but all right, 28. This is more out of respect because there's like, it's not more. I like this guy. He's always done great stuff. But in favorites, and just in my favorites, I would say he's overrated. The Undertaker. Great, great performer. Good on the mic, but
Yeah.
he's never been like, I never wanted like an Undertaker shirt.
Yeah.
You know,
Same. I'm
I like
honestly.
having an Undertaker wrestler, but just the Undertaker is needed. If there was an all-time draft, I would take him like top 5, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
See, I'm with you on that. Like I'm honestly surprised I put him a little higher than you, but I've always like he's good and he's a cool character, but if you like really think about it, he didn't start putting on those like amazing matches till like 2006.
Yeah. I don't argue with that.
Yeah.
American Badass Taker. I don't care what you say. Love him. All
He's
right.
he was just a fun character. I don't know. I don't know why I like him. Because even like rewatching it now, me and Cameron just be making fun of stuff he says. But I don't know. It was just a fun character. It was cool to see him in a different light.
You've done it now. That's all I got. But I had Undertaker at 30, so he's actually gone up 2 spots for me. But yeah. All right. 27.
Cody
I've
Rhodes.
got. Huh?
Oh, sorry, I was talking to Bree.
Uh, I thought you said Cody Rhodes. I already said
Well,
Cody.
because she asked who Gracie's favorite wrestler is. I said Cody Rhodes.
Oh. 27. I've got Stratusfaction Trish Stratus, dude.
Wow.
This, hey, this was the hottest woman in the world to me as a child. The video games definitely made it better.
It's like, have you seen that meme where it's like wrestling games when I'm by myself and it's like Kane like doing the stupid stink eye thing, and it's like when my mom walks in, it's like that Trish with like pulling her shirt open a bit.
No, for real, that is so real. But yeah, man, I love Trish. Was definitely my favorite diva for probably like the start of me watching wrestling until I want to say like the women's revolution stuff started kicking in. But yeah, Trish 27 is where I got her. She'll always be in my top 30 at least, just because as memories as a kid will always be there.
Yeah. I was never big
All
on
right.
Trish or Lita really, so neither of them are on my list.
I had Trish at 31. You know what? I will say her run when she came back and feuded with Becky, she did pretty good. I thought she held her own.
Yeah.
Let's see. She's gone up 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. Now, this is the last announcement of the night. We will be picking this up next week, y'all. And I honestly, Christian, I cannot think of a better ending to tonight's picks. Do
Okay.
you know who my 26 is?
So I'm guessing it's someone a little controversial, huh?
Huh? You're guessing
Then
what?
it's someone a little controversial.
Apparently not.
Apparently not.
Yeah.
Goldberg.
Yeah, right. You think Goldberg's open? All right. Who was your 26?
My 26 was Roman.
And my 26 is the tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
Wow, nice.
So literally, that is the most perfect ending I can think of. Um, Definitely, Shield Roman would not have made the list.
Right.
Um, this tribal chief, and I mean this like with all sincerity. I really think this was the greatest title reign I've ever seen. It was. It had everything. He beat everybody. Yeah, he wasn't there all the time, but if he was there all what it was it 1500 days, he would have gotten so stale. Like when I think back on the title reign, I just think of moments like Brock flipping the ring, and before that, when he threw the mic at him and he just caught it with one hand and like gave him that wink. The
Yeah.
stack pin on Daniel Bryan and Edge, like it was a great run, and then it had the most perfect ending. Like everybody walked away from WrestleMania 40 like, wow, that was like literally that was a standing ovation. You know what I mean? It was so good.
Yeah, I feel like I seen someone made like the perfect tweet about it. Like literally, it was like right after night two of Mania ended. He was like, "I feel like I just watched the series finale of WWE."
Seriously. But it was so good. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not going to say who my 25 is or 24 or 23. I think he should be at 23, and those three guys should move down after all that explaining. But it's inked in pen. Roman Reigns has gone down one spot for me apparently because I had him at 25 last year and I moved him down to 26. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I feel like our lists definitely are better this year. I think
You
so
think
far.
so?
So far, I think. Yeah.
So here's what I'll say. Here's a this isn't this is we're ending that portion, right? You might be interested to hear this part though, right? You had Owen at 49 last year. I'm assuming he's not on your list this year.
No.
Okay. Oh shit. Ah, screw it. I'll write it here. You had Keith Lee at 47 last year. I'm assuming he's not on your list.
No, he almost was though, but his recent stint has soured me a bit.
He has my favorite NXT moment, but you know that's not enough. You had Shelton Benjamin at 46 last year. Is he not on your list?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. You had the Dudleys at 45, and it sounded like you said neither of them are on your list this year, right?
Nope.
Okay, so I'm writing them off. You had the Miz at 43 last year, and I think you said he's not on.
Yeah, I didn't put him this year.
All right, the Miz is off. You have some other names that I think could potentially still be on your list, so I don't want to get too into it. But um, everybody on the right side of your page, you have covered yet so far, except for Shinsuke, Booker T. You had the Usos at 31.
Mm.
Christopher Daniels at 34.
He didn't make my list.
He didn't make your list? Oh,
No.
damn.
Almost, but I was like, was he one of my favorites, or was I just like super cool to watch him face AJ and Joe?
See, I was going to ask you when I was naming the guys, but I was like, he could technically still be on here, so I'm not going to say nothing. And then, yeah, I'm assuming Bailey's on your list, but you had her at 36,
Okay.
and everybody else you've covered so far.
Okay.
Thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, Bailey is on my list. Early spoiler, but no won't know where.
Oh, and Brock is off your list, so let me just write that there. So far, you have 7 people who have fallen off of your top 50.
Hmm.
Yeah, 7 so far, and I've had. Oh shit! I mean, shoot! I said shoot.
You're past the 5 minutes.
Huh?
Said you're past the 5 minutes.
Right. I've had one, two, three, four. I've had 4 guys fall off my list so far.
Okay.
Yeah, 4. All right. Well, that was a 3-hour episode. uh, Hope y'all enjoyed. I seen for a minute we had 33 people in here.
Oh damn, that's like one of our highest ones.
Yeah, I'm guessing maybe from Twitch or something, but we're ending at 29. Love you all. Thanks for being here. Derek will be here with his 10 next week, or with his 50 through 41. Cameron might also as well. And we're going to get you those next 20. 15, next 15.
All right.
All right.
Peace.